Good evening, everybody. It's a little bit of a weird one for me, but welcome to the analyst desk. Welcome to Risen Esports. It is
Yep.
Unstoppable Week 7. I am DBZ Freak 2, currently getting Spectrum gapped because it is a great internet
Yep.
service. It is
ISP diff.
terrible. I almost TOS by cussing them out, and it's been a really
Yep.
rough day. It's been out since 10 a.m. But on the other hand, we have Hyper and Darterwolf, who will be doing most of the work today, unfortunately, because,
Hey, it's all good. There's a reason why we're 80 carries. We put the game on our back.
Yeah. You're gonna force me to ramble more than I already do. So I don't know if everyone's ready for that. But
if anybody's gonna ramble more, it's gonna be me.
True.
I'm not
Indeed.
gonna be yelling into the mic.
Yeah, but as you can see by my lovely Discord picture that's lighting up, also below that, it is Week 7. It is Dorado Gaming Iota versus Crimson Spartans. Now, we saw Crimson Spartans a couple weeks ago. They won their series in that game. We asked them if they're going to be ready for Dorado at the end of the week. We were hoping they were going to be undefeated, but we're not. It's okay. But so they were saying that they're pretty confident about playing into Dorado, and that's going to be really cool to see how well that they are able to play into them, and I'm looking forward to how that will go. Now, boys, what are you expecting out of this match before we kind of bleed into the Worlds talk a little bit?
Darter, you can go first on this one.
Yeah. I mean, clearly just on paper, Dorado are the stronger team. They do have a substitute mid laner today, so their starting mid will not be playing. It'll be Jason Script 5 instead. Both of them are strong players, but their starting mid laner is arguably at least statistically, the best mid in Unstoppable right now. So they will definitely be missing him at least to a certain extent, but I do still think Dorado are the stronger team coming into this. Just wide, we've seen a lot of their players before. Massive, especially, we know what he can do in the top side. So I would expect them to come away with it, but Crimson Spartans did have a strong start, and they've kind of fallen off a little bit now at 4-2 after going 4-0. So we'll see if they'll be looking to pick it back up again in this week and not drop the 4-3.
Hyper, what you got for this?
I mean, I think it's gonna be I just saw your profile picture light up when you talked. I need to shout out our production guy on the other end because that's actually pretty creative. But no, I think it's gonna be a really interesting series as a whole.
Yeah.
Like Darty said, Dorado, statistically speaking, is the better team. Their top laner Massive and their ADC, who's got the incorrect name, but whatever. It's an ADC name gap because Showtime is 100% a better name for an ADC, not Corey JJ.
Yeah, Corey JJ. If they were support, I would have a different opinion. But yeah, Showtime is a great name for an ADC.
But no, so Corey JJ on paper is the best ADC in Unstoppable right now, as well as Massive. He's the best top laner. So we're gonna have strong lanes across the board, and not to like undercut the support or the jungler, really great stats as well. But with that being said, it's still going to be an interesting, if not a tough matchup in the top lane. Yes, Massive is hands down the best top laner in Unstoppable, but Benny can hold his own. Coming in 4th in KDA for the top laners alone. And Carbine himself, Carbine, by the way, incorrect name for support. That's a ADC name.
Yeah, we gotta talk to these guys a little bit.
But Carbine and Emperor, so the support and the jungler for the side of Crimson Spartans, have the best vision score across Unstoppable. So there is not going to be any blackness across the map, which really plays into the matchup that I think that is the most important because, yes, we have all these lane dominant piloting these champions, but who's going to be able to facilitate those leads into a win? And that's going to come down on the shoulders of the junglers because it might be just neutral in both the mid. It might be neutral in the top. It might be neutral in the ADC role because these players are these two teams are the best in their group. So their players are not pushovers. So who is going to be the reason to get us a win? And it's going to come from the junglers. And the jungler for the side of Dorado Gaming is very proactive, picks these really great utility junglers. But Emperor does the exact same thing. He has these really great wins on these utility junglers, and his vision is supreme. And Carbine, the support, and I don't know how to say your name for the other support for Dorado, both roaming engaged support. So it's really going to come down to the support and the jungle meeting up into setting up plays for their team.
It's
And
17, I think.
17, is that how
I
you
think
say
so.
that? You see,
I mean, it's
I
17
hate
in
the
Roman.
X.
It's 17 in Roman numerals, and then in teen at the end. So I'm assuming it's 17.
That
That's
would
actually
that
clever.
would yeah, that would actually is pretty clever. But I'm gonna
That's pretty clever.
while we're talking about like what we're predicting for both these teams, let's actually throw it to predictions real quick to kind of
Mhm.
see like who predicted what. And Hyper is the surprising one, going with the upset with the 2-1 in favor of Crimson Spartans, and then the rest of us
Mhm.
are kind of in favor of Dorado naturally because I
Yeah.
I kind of changed my opinion a little bit because when we I was thinking a 2-0 before I had Hyper put in my
Mhm.
prediction, but then I was like, you know what? I kind of give Crimson Spartans that one little bit of chance. And then you saying they're playing with their substitute mid laner is like maybe that's something they can abuse,
Yeah.
maybe, but
Maybe.
not entirely guaranteed. But 2-0 is coming from Darter and Meilu, which not surprising. But Meilu, how did you? Are you here still? How did you end
I'm
up on
still here.
your? Okay, how
Yeah.
did you end up on your
Hi
2-0?
guys. So for those that are new to the Melu lore, Melu knows nothing about League at all.
Mhm. Yeah.
The extent of League, which people keep trying to explain it to me. I'm still confused. I still think you guys should run it down mid. I want a team to run it down mid and prove me wrong. Okay, I'm just saying. But
Should have been there for the Tyler Wynn days.
There you go.
Yeah.
yeah, I really should have. But today's predictions were brought to you by my boyfriend Riley, where I asked him if I should pick team one or team two, and then I asked him to pick the score, and that is how we got today's prediction. So I am putting my full faith in my boyfriend, and just I'm believing in him today. Boyfriend, do you believe? He said sometimes. So I guess we'll see what
Okay.
happens.
I feel that.
All right, we take those. But all right, I'm not gonna ask the three of us. That's something we can more get into later
Yeah.
about like why we did what. But that's something we can go over like as we're in game. And kind of speaking of game, like we know that we're kind of knee deep in Worlds right now as that's
Mhm.
currently going on. This morning we had BLG versus LNG, Genji versus G2,
Yeah.
not BLG, LNG versus JDG. Sorry.
Yes.
JDG ended up getting the better of LNG again, which I think if that
Yep.
was a best of five, that would have went to all 5 games again
It
because
would have been
LNG
a
is just
3-2 again. Yeah.
Yeah.
LNG is so good against JDG, but it's like that just
Yeah.
that little bit of a team fight gap that we kind of were talking about off stream is kind of what led them to losing that game. And then
Yeah.
Genji just mollywopped G2. I'm gonna be real. That nothing really.
It was
Yeah, I'm
it
not
was
surprised.
kind of embarrassing.
I'm not surprised. I know there's a lot of hopium going on, but Genji are just too clean for G2 to take advantage of, in my opinion, just
Mhm.
macro wise. They don't make the same mistakes that other teams do and have been throughout Worlds. Because G2 they did beat two good teams, but they beat them in a interesting fashion, and it was almost sort of like a throw. In both games, I do think their win over DK was better than their win over Weibo.
Yeah, I agree.
But they definitely I was not expecting them to take a game off Genji, and that's how it went. But I think we've been rambling for quite some time, and these teams are waiting patiently for us
Are they
to
rating? Okay.
get ready for draft.
So let's throw it to draft then. So I will not be here for draft chat. It will be Darter and Hyper taking it all. I'll kind of be rambling in the game a little bit because
Hmm.
it's still an ISP gap for the next
Yep.
hour and a half, assuming the series lasts that long. So if my internet comes back, you'll see my pretty face at the end of this game. If not, well, it was
Yeah.
nice knowing y'all. So if draft has started, go ahead, you two take it away.
Yeah, I mean, it's we've been on this patch now for a little over a week, almost 2 weeks now. 1320, the Jinx patch. Uh,
The Jinx
as it's now being
patch.
known, because this champ is super giga broken. I'm not surprised the Caitlyn ban instantly. I was actually gonna mention it. I was gonna ask you if you thought Showtime was gonna tank a Caitlyn ban. Just because it looks like his best performing champion in solo queue by far, aside from Ashe. Leona ban is interesting. GP ban is something we don't see a whole lot of, but
So
taking away one of Massive's best champs there.
I mean, the GP not only just targeting Massive, but I
Yeah.
don't think that Crimson Spartans were aware of Tough not playing today, because that's one of his best champions in the mid lane, which
It
is
is,
actually
yeah.
pretty funny. I do like the Ivern ban. It's really targeting both of the junglers at this point,
Okay, yeah.
since both the junglers like to play
We're leaving
Ivern.
Jinx open?
Yeah, I mean,
That's wild.
why
I'd be
not? I
surprised. I'd be
guess.
surprised if Dorado doesn't first pick Jinx.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's right there. I mean, it's kind of an instant lock at this point. If
Yeah,
you
it
blue
has to be. I
side,
mean,
and
she's just the
but
strongest
there
AD
you
on the
go.
patch by a mile.
I mean, there you go.
And
You play
yeah,
Zaya into it.
it's not. Yeah, see, I
Zaya
don't
Rakan.
like this answer. I really don't.
I
Zaya's
I'm
kind
not
of
a
like.
big fan. I'm not a big fan of the answer either, unless they're thinking that, hey, let's pick up the Zaya and the Rakan. Yes, Rakan takes away priority on the pick for their support on 17, but not
I mean,
only that.
they should just slam Nautilus here. It's pretty free.
It's yeah.
Or Thresh. I mean, the reason why I don't like the Zaya Rakan
I think I
answer.
like the Nautilus a little. I like the Thresh a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Now
I like the
it's.
Thresh a little bit more just because of the with Nautilus, if you hit someone, you have to go in, whereas Thresh, you don't have to go in yet.
I mean,
But I'm
Nautilus
saying
is
that in
a.
considering you're playing against Zaya, where she wants to kite backwards and then set up all her damage, and then Jinx just likes to go forward.
Yeah, Poppy lock-in is not surprising at all. The Thresh answer is less of a counter pick and more of a skill matchup into Rakan specifically. Nautilus is just a turbo counter, especially in this elo bracket. Yeah, you just have to be just so much better at Rakan to make it into a skill matchup, and it's really on the onus of the Rakan to win that side of the matchup. I would much prefer Sejuani over Vi here. If Vi gets played in this comp, it's completely different to what Zaya and Rakan want to do. Fiddlesticks also doesn't really. This is why I don't like the Zaya instant answer, because now we're playing a lot of dive with Zaya, which is a kite back 80 carry, especially into Jinx, Thresh, Poppy. I don't think they'll be able to easily get onto Jinx without being able to find the flank.
Yeah.
I would expect Syndra and Ahri bans from Crimson Spartans. Dorado can pretty much ban whatever they like here. I think they should probably ban some top laners.
Do you think they take? I mean, they
Should ban
haven't
some
banned
top
the top
laners to
lane.
make the
They should
blind
ban
pick
some top
easy.
laners. What about
They should ban Malphite. They should ban Malphite for
what
sure.
about like a Malphite and like an Akali here? Akali targeting the mid laner.
Akali ban doesn't matter. You have Poppy, Thresh, and Jinx is just super safe. You don't need to ban it. Katarina ban makes sense. It's Crimson Spartan's one trick.
I like the Fiora ban.
Yeah, the Fiora ban's nice. They're kind of showing that they want to pick a tank here though with that ban, so they should ban away the Malphite in my opinion.
Fiora is one of Massive's better champs too, as well.
Yeah.
Along with the Aatrox, I feel like it's a little easier to handle the Aatrox just because the timing out of World War, where it's a lot harder to handle Fiora, especially in the split push fit environment, because her kit just takes objectives so fast.
Yeah, and there's Malphite ban. I'm not surprised. So Crimson Spartans should probably blind pick mid here and give top their counter.
I would blind pick
especially with how with what Benny's shampoo is. A lot of those are safe blinds. I think Olaf is pretty strong for them here. It kind of makes this Poppy drop in value a little bit, and goes on the same type of comp you're going with here with Rakan Fiddlesticks. But instead they're gonna lock in Ornn, which gets countered by Poppy. So if Dorado want to, they can flex Poppy top lane and pick something else in the jungle.
I mean, I don't think so. Just because Massive likes to play bruisery style top laners,
they can just also slam Aatrox.
They could just slam Aatrox.
But I think Gwen is probably better. Just because they need a little bit of AP. It depends on what their mid laner wants to play here.
I mean, they did take the Ahri off of the table, so I mean,
Syndra's not bad here.
I was about to say they could just slam Syndra here, B5.
Yeah, they can go Syndra Aatrox, and their draft is pretty strong. And then Crimson Spartans don't really have a good answer into that, I don't feel like, because their mid laner, like I said, is a bit of a Katarina one trick. And his next best champion is Akali, which in this draft is extremely hard to play, and yeah, especially into Syndra as well. And then you go down the list, and you're looking at like Galio, Nico, and Sylas for him, and all of those are pretty rough in this draft as well. I think Galio's like
I was thinking about the Sylas, but into like a Thresh and the Poppy, the Sylas doesn't really work that well.
Yeah, Sylas, it fits their comp, but then you have full AP topside with Sylas, and you need AD with Fiddlesticks Ornn. And the Camille lock-in is super good. It's a hard counter on Ornn.
I love the Camille, and not got a
Zed is an interesting answer. It's not necessarily a counter pick into Syndra. It's kind of a skill matchup.
I'm not. If they do lock into Zed, I have some thoughts.
If they do, I don't think it's going to do very much in this game.
I mean, because you're only locking in Zed for one reason, and that is to get on top of the Jinx. But we already have Fiddlesticks and Rakan, so there's really
too much. Like, Dorado just hard one draft here.
So much dive on the side of Crimson Spartans, and
it's not going to do anything.
I mean,
when you have Poppy, Syndra, Camille, Thresh, the dive won't do anything. The only dive that can actually get on Jinx is Zed ult and Fiddlesticks ult. Yeah, that's it.
And I mean, I have mixed feelings about this. Like, I liked the Zaya.
I don't.
I liked it when it first got picked up, and then they R3 the Fiddlesticks, and I'm like, oh no, I'm not feeling
I
the
think.
Zaya anymore.
I mean, they self counterpicked them by picking Zaya, and then blinding Rakan is fine because Rakan's one of the best supports on the patch.
I like the Rakan pick. What
And
if
then
they subbed in it for an Ashe, like an Ashe Rakan lane?
uh,
Would that
Ash Rakan
be a
is
little
such a
bit better?
bad lane.
I mean, would it be better than the Zaya?
Well, yes, it would. I think they should go. They should have gone Ash, not Renata personally. But before we ramble
Yeah.
on too much, I do want to get DBZ back in here, and see what he thinks.
Yo, what the heck is this draft?
Yeah, I agree. I think Crimson Spartans counterpicked themselves in every single pick.
Okay, so
Um,
um I'm trying to rationalize it. They leave Jinx open, the most
mhm.
broken AD carry in the game.
Yep.
Yep.
They answer
I climbed 3 ranks with it
Yeah, champ's so OP.
in a week.
she's so broke. Like okay, so here's my listing step by step. So step one, you leave Jinx open. That's
Mhm.
already a red X in my book. Step
Yep.
two, you then pick Zyra Khan, which really shouldn't into Jinx. I would have
Yep.
preferred,
No.
like you mentioned, Astronauta.
Yep.
I think we also talked maybe Kaisa is okay into it, but not
Yeah, it's
good.
fine.
I mean, I don't like it overall, but an
I mean,
Aphelios
the
would have been
Kaisa
better
fits their
here.
draft if they're gonna go with this. I think Aphelios is too weak to pick
I think
in this
affiliates is
point.
too
Like I said,
Especially
I don't like
especially
it in
since
general, but
especially
overall for like
since
team fighting, it's
so
better.
the Aphelios Jinx trade, it's Jinx favored. The only
Yes.
Yeah.
reason why pro teams trade Jinx Aphelios is because they're good enough to actually make it a skill matchup. But if you're trading Jinx Aphelios, it's a Jinx favored matchup, especially with the strength of these two champions. I believe it's a
Mhm.
54% win rate matchup for Jinx at the moment.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
And like Zaya is a very similar story. I mean, this champ it does have a low win rate in solo queue and is stronger than her win rate suggests. And win rate's not a perfect stat by any means, but in general, the Zaya into Jinx is not a good trade because you have a good level 1 with Rakan, but you can't really punish a
Can't really
Jinx Thresh
punish,
lane or a Jinx Alistar or anything like that,
Yeah, no.
regardless of whatever support they pick. And then in team fights, especially if you're going full dive against Thresh, Poppy, Syndra, the later this draft goes on, the worse the Zaya pick gets because she wants to kite back, and you're playing a full like dive team comp with a Zaya, so I just don't think she fits it very well.
Yeah.
And if the Zaya tries to go forwards against this comp, she'll have a very tough time surviving in these team fights.
And not even
Uh,
just surviving, being able to do
it's
damage
yeah, I
too.
mean, it's just so hard to get on top of this Jinx as well. Like I said, the
Yeah.
only real way for them to get on top of Jinx is if it's a fiddle ult over a wall. And I'm assuming Dorado are good enough at marking flanks to not let that happen. Obviously,
Yeah.
like things happen, and if Crimson Spartans can find that flank angle with the Fiddlesticks ult, they can completely turn the fight. But if they don't hit Poppy, Syndra, and Thresh in that Fiddle ult, any one of those can just negate the rest of their engage, and Fiddle's just by himself in backline, and will probably get one shot. And if Corey JJ takes cleanse, him diving over a wall if she has cleanse up doesn't do anything
Yeah.
either because he gets one shot. So it's a very hard game for Crimson Spartans to play with this draft. I think Dorado can just like sit and scale and let Camille play inside and just play 4v4 team fights, and it's super easy for them.
I'm right there with you, and that was where I was going to keep going with Dorado's draft in particular, because obviously first pick the Jinx, yeah, whatever. Then they follow up with Thresh, Poppy, and then they keep picking champions that are known to dive.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's like I don't really understand it. I kind of understand the Zed pick, but I kind of wish it was probably more of a Yasuo or a Yone instead.
Yeah.
Especially if they're gonna go with this
I think
trend of
Yone's
AP jungle, AD
probably
mid.
better.
I think Yone is better in this instance, and
Yasuo's
either
tough
one of
into
them would have
Poppy
been fine.
Syndra.
It's just I'm not sure like what was kind of like maybe it's comfort. That's why they picked all of this, maybe.
Yeah.
But at the
Well,
same
I mean,
time,
maybe they were like, oh man, we've already committed to this like dive comp. Let's just lock in Zed
I
kind
mean,
of
you
they
don't
thing.
have
didn't
to
need
play
to.
dive
You know
with
what I mean?
Rakan Fiddle. You can play like a kiteback-ish comp.
Correct, yeah.
Fiddle is just slamming Fiddle that early when you already see Thresh Poppy is just makes it now you have to draft dive. With Zaya Rakan, you can fit that into pretty much anything as a bot lane duo.
Yeah.
Even though like Rakan likes to play dive and Zaya likes to play kiteback, they can both
Yeah.
do either thing if needed. depending on the composition, and you can just play standard 5v5 front to back with Zyricon. But picking Fiddle and then blinding Ornn as well, you're now fully indexing into like this team fight like flank style, and then picking Zed does that even further after seeing Syndra Camille. It's I just feel like it, and also with dive with Xayah, if Xayah gets left alone against like Camille, if Massive finds a flank, that guy's one shot. You can't Xayah ult out of a Hextech ultimatum, so he's gonna be stuck in, and yeah, I just think it's gonna be super hard for him to play
How much time do we have on speculations? I can't see it.
120.
120.
Okay, so never mind. We'll do it when we get into game. So actually, let's go ahead and take a short break, and then we'll do Dragon Souls when we come back, and then we'll go ahead and start the game. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for game 1 between these two teams.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rift for game number 1 between Dorado Gaming Iota and the Crimson Spartans. Top 2 teams of Group A, but only one is better at Dragon.
Oh, you didn't have to flame them like that.
That's
yeah.
rude.
Great play right out the gate. I'm sorry.
Rude.
No, we didn't get a chance to do this before the game started, but we
30
predicted our
seconds
Dragon
until
Souls
minions spawn.
outside of the loading screen. So Darter predicted Hextech, I predicted Mountain, and Hyper predicted Cloud. Now the funny part about Mountain and Cloud is those are the two Drakes we've seen the most out of the entire split
Like,
so far.
By far, yeah.
By far.
So it'd be incredibly funny if it's neither one of those or it is one of those. So we just have to wait and see what happens. And hello everybody, it's DBZ. I'm in the game. I'm not like in the game because it's still a gap. But
Yeah, it's a bit of an ISP diff, but
Minions
DBZ, I think
have
you and I are both happy. Both of these AD carries have cleanse.
I was about
know.
to bring that up. They both
Thank
have
God.
plans.
What are we doing with this level 1 that I'm witnessing right now in the jungle? What? Okay, they're just getting vision though. Never mind.
Yeah, they're just getting vision on Raptors to spot out the clear. Meanwhile, Camille's taking the clear up in here.
Wow,
Windows
dude,
almost.
Benny just getting jumped on immediately right there.
Yeah, it's I've said this multiple times when we see this matchup, but it is a skill matchup until Camille gets Sunder, and then it is no longer winnable whatsoever. Completely unplayable matchup.
All right,
But,
I forgot about
until she gets Sunder, it's skill matchup.
I thought it was Sheen, but I forgot you subscribed to the Orn document.
I
and I'm
am.
gonna
I
take
have
your
the
word for it.
macro Orn document.
Do you have it pulled up right now?
No, but we've seen this matchup so many times. It's just like it's completely skill until Camille gets Sunder.
And the fact that she's like zoning him off with even XP, I believe, is this
No,
is going to make
he's
this matchup
still
even
picking
more.
up a little bit of XP. It's just
It's all because of the number 1 trade. I mean, it's really good about Aztec there to like start the pressure in this lane because he knows once they're in wave, especially in once they actually win trades, getting the advantage early does a lot.
Oh,
He's here,
level
actually.
2 first, forcing the flash out of Benny, barely gets away with it too.
That's why we take Ignite TP on Camille.
Yep.
Okay, that's fair.
I
I
cast
haven't been dead
I
ass
casted
against
last
top
week on
twice.
Dominate, and I was flaming the top laner Gwen because they win Ghost TP, and I'm like,
No,
just
Ghost
go
TP 's fine
Ghost
on Gwen.
Ignite.
No, you need TP at top. I hate when top players don't take TP.
Me too.
In
We see it
general,
our
like solo lanes in general should take TP almost always, just because as the later the game goes on, the less value you get out of it. In solo lanes specifically, because for lane assignments, but all the lanes are going about as expected, with the exception of top is hard winning.
Yeah, I mean, but that was kind of expected when the counterpick cannon came in. That's just what happens with Camille. Right now, it looks like he backed and was going to TP back to lane. Ended up picking up that longsword, so will be a little bit of a nuisance. I will say that if that trade that happened earlier happens again, 100%. I can't think of his name because I can't see it because my screen's so small. Benny, there we go. Benny will die with this next like hard trade that goes through. I also just realized that everyone has team names next to their thing, which means they almost have the icons from the team.
They
for
do,
Worlds.
yeah. There's a few of them that have icons.
I love that. That's cool. I've never done that before. I'm getting a C9
Yeah, it's
one.
awesome. Yeah, that's why I have the that's why I have LXD in front of my name.
All right,
All right, I'm buying one when my internet comes back. Oh wait, trade in the river.
Really massive trade in the river. Poppy's gonna stun up VIP Emperor, force the flash out of him, but Zed still looking for a little bit of extra more. Direct to camera says, nah, we're gonna focus there on the bot lane.
Yeah, if the Scatter of the Weak lands, it's definitely a bit unfortunate there, but Flash from Emperor is massive. Fiddle Flash is such a
Oh,
word
what
cooldown.
a hook coming out of Thresh. Carbon getting stuck right there between the chompers, but he manages to get right back to Showtime. Ignite ticking down. 17 could push the issue, but meanwhile, Master's jumping right in onto the horn. He's gonna go unstoppable, gets a nice brittle burst, but he's still going down. Over to Master.
Crazy flash there from K-Peps to actually like cancel the second half of the E just to start the chain CC. He didn't cancel the full dash, of course, but if you get the knockup, you can actually chain CC in the wall, which is what happened. Base Rush is OP. Scatter lands as well. This might be a solo kill. It doesn't have Q, looks like, so it won't be too much.
It was
Zed does have
close.
flash.
Emperor is down there in the bot lane, might look for something. Harvey manages to go in, does not get the knockup. They're going to jump on a 17 time. Mana ball is getting very low, gets a nice play caller. They get a return kill going over to the jungler.
Yeah, those traps were kind of put in the wrong spot there to save off the gang.
You are going too deep, guys. Relax. Okay.
All right, shut the wave. We're good. Showtime takes a base. We're good. We're good. All good.
They obviously didn't know Poppy was there. I mean, they don't have that deep a vision out at the moment. Really good scatter, and I think if this is Ginger with electrocute, I think Zed would have died already at this point. But that's the one thing, you know, that she's gonna go ahead and respect the fact that this is a big wave crashing, and Zed should be about halfway to level 6 because we're about 6.5 minutes in. 5.5 is it? That's 5.5.
Yeah, it should be next wave.
Either way, it's really close. He just leveled up just now. Okay, so respecting the fact that level 6 was close, and honestly, I think that's really good like game sense. Like, all right, I'm low. Homeboy's gonna hit 6. If he does, I just die. I'm gonna back TP back to lane, gets a little bit of items, and bada bing, bada boom. Looks like we have the cloth armor, early cloth armor, which will actually be huge in some of these early
It's
trades.
actually really huge.
Really intelligent. Ooh, hello, cold.
On top of that, they were respecting the fact that Rakan was just off map after the gank as well. They knew he had roam timer because both ADCs were on a base timer as well. So Carbine was actually either basing or roaming mid. So just fully respecting that as well. Since timer to not get killed. Just to get back lanes when they get there. They can easily use their gank time with bot to get pressure on Drake, especially with the amount of mid push that they have.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
I'd be really surprised to see if K-Peps doesn't just base and then start walking towards bot so they can get bot push into Dragon. They have the stronger 4v4 at this point in the game, especially since neither jungler has flash. Poppy gets the better of that at this point.
Can you also point out that Camille has Sheen? Top lane's actually just straight Jover.
I mean,
top lane is
Hearthbind X
1,000
not
gold above their lane opponent, so
Yeah, I saw that too.
I'm not
But I mean,
surprised.
it's being closed a little bit. I mean, with the CS gap, 800 now, so not much. It's just with that first blood that went over, and they have kind of down like 1,000 gold, almost 1,000.
Yeah, exactly what I thought they were gonna do. It's just good.
I mean, nice guy to weak right there, but K-Peps is down there in the bot lane. A nice hook coming out.
Killing the
from
mid lane
threat.
too.
K-Peps hooked down that you cannot move anywhere. Harvey manages to get out of there. Knight's still ticking down, but he still lives through that game. Health bar barely intact.
Yeah,
Every
no
summoner was
used there
blown.
either. Yeah.
And all summoners were blown in the mid lane. We got a quick glimpse of what was happening there in the mid lane. I think Syndra must have flashed one of the shurikens that kept her from moving. This is the part that sucks, ladies and gentlemen, about not having internet. It cannot be in a week night to see what just happened.
Oh, Jinx takes over, super mega death rocket, solo kill.
Gotta flash those.
I just don't think not like a respect thing, but I don't think they knew that Jinx was that close to 6. I think if they kind of had the idea that was coming, then would have probably reacted better. But I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, oh crap, she just hit 6. That's not good. But they're gonna shove this in, kind of get it back into the tower, get reset here. I'm assuming Jinx will be going Kraken Slayer first before doing an Infinity Edge, if I'm thinking correctly.
That's the standard.
Can be
build.
Storm Razor as well in this game.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that I was not talking out of my butt.
Kraken into IE is pretty standard. Storm Razor specifically, they don't have a lot of tanks, which they built this game. Especially when you have a Camille, you don't need to be the one to kill this guy. I mean, you're going to be hitting him anyways, but Storm Razor is
Massive lead right
really
there.
good.
Use the hook shot on the terrain, on orange terrain.
It's pretty nuts, actually.
Yeah. Actually, Storm Razor is pretty good this game as well, just because it's for fun build. If you cleanse Fury and get a Storm Razor proc, you can get out easily.
I think we also got a lot going on behind the bottom. I think we're doing the dragon right now, so that will go over. It is an Ocean Drake next, so all of our dragons are still on the field.
That's a first. That's a first.
Yeah, I'm surprised Dorado actually dropped the Drake.
I gotta just say, Jan's made his way up to the top lane.
Nah, he's gone. No, they're just gonna get Herald pressure here, then drop the Herald up here, I would assume.
They lose a plate mid for this, though. I think Jason, as soon as he sees one start backing off tower, should just go back mid. They're gonna lose a lot for this, doesn't have CP, so it'll be a pretty even gold trade since they lost Drake as well.
Plates he got. Wow. Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
Well,
2 plates,
I mean,
two plates top for 2 plates mid. All 4 are solo plates. Drake for
No,
Herald trade.
they ended up splitting that focus between Jason and Massive.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So it was a decent gold trade. Actually, interestingly enough, too, is it looks
I mean,
like
Zed wins out on that trade.
Well, yeah. I think Zed is good, pretty happy with that. And we're also really intelligent build happening right now from the Syndra. Having part of the Seeker's arm guard, yeah, it's just so good for that armor. You remember when it used to give a little more armor? Oh, topside.
Oh, what a play coming out from Massive, and Benny forcing the flash out of him.
I hope they don't.
He went down into the river to try to drop a ward, and then Massive saw his opportunity and was like, all right, I could probably pop him here.
Please take this Herald bot lane.
You know what? I actually agree with you on this one. I think it'd be better to take Herald in the bot lane. I think it's better to get the Jinx unlocked on the map more than the Camille because she'll just kind of do it on her own when she finishes her Sunder. So I'm actually 100% with you on this for bringing it down here in the bot lane, especially because Jinx is already stronger at the moment, arguably.
Oh, she's already got
my
Triforce.
lord.
Oh, wait, she went Triforce?
This is going to be the big deeps, Camille. Oh my lord.
Yeah, the reason why I think taking Herald bot is better is because you want this lane phase to go on as long as possible for Camille. And the longer that tier 1 lives, the better it is for her, just because she can keep abusing the Ornn and taking advantage of that. Whereas if you Herald the tower and kill it early, Ornn can now sit under his tier 2 and just kind of be there for his team, but this can happen if it's not.
Yeah, and Benny uses that charge to try to get back under turret. He's got one health bar ticking away. A flash under turret is leaving his health bar very low and intact, but Mass's health bar equally low. Hookshot comes back over the wall. He's gonna get stunned up and taken down. Had no vision in the brush, or he might have been able to pull that one off.
Yeah, overestimated his damage a little bit there. Still got the kill anyways, but blue flash a little bit needlessly. Emperor now here in the bot lane looking for a lane gank, but spotted out very easy by Lantern. Also, Syndra roaming down as well.
Yeah,
Dropping a lot of pressure. Mid should move back up, will do so. The 3v3 is definitely favored for Dorado, in my opinion.
I agree with you. Thresh is level 6
good
here.
start of the week. Jason kind of hitting these on repeat at this point.
They're level 7. See, I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. Watching League of Legends when there's a lot going on a phone screen is not the move.
Very difficult, yeah.
Why do you say that?
I do not recommend. Well, because 1, I'm not in the client, so I can't control what I want to see. 2, it's small and I have to zoom in to see things. That's also not fun. So there's that. I might end up getting another solo kill here if he decides to just kind of go crazy.
Yeah, I mean, his health bar is really low. I mean, if she just takes these small little trades, it's probably another solo kill.
Oh, yeah. It's at this point, since she's first item, it's no longer a skill, even though it's not Sunder. If it was Sunder, it'd be worse, honestly, for 1v1. But she can still just take such advantage of this matchup.
I'm thinking it's not Sunder, mostly because it's 4 squishies on the other side, even though I'll say quote-unquote squishies, because Rakan is kind of, you know, as we saw actually earlier today with...
Oh, they can kill off that.
Oh, that was close.
If Thresh threw the Flash Blade into Hook, you get cleanse, and I think it's a kill, but...
They are going to be looking for a dive. Syndra has made her way down into the bot lane. Poppy is going to back off. Scatter the Weak is not going to hit. So they know they're setting up that dive down there in the bot lane.
Patience.
Indeed. I was actually thinking the same thing. Like, they're being a little impatient with this, and that might cost them. Not like cost them a lot, but like it'll throw off the play of what they were going to do. Yeah. I think if they just played that continue patiently, Poppy wraps around. I think that's a free 2 kills in the bot lane. Actually, Herald is getting ready to timeout. I think a little bit.
Yeah, she should go red, come back in the bot here. They should be assuming that they're formatting this.
Oh, Herald timed out. Oh, there it is. Dropped it in the river. Dropped it on the red side.
Yeah, I also think Jason over-rotated on that bot play as well. I think all he needs to do is kind of sit and fog, force Showtime and Carbine to back off and respect the roam. And then if they do commit, then he can move afterwards just because of mid-wave state. In case Zed decides to just sit and take plates, doesn't actually decide to do that.
Yeah, they're still going to try something here too.
They can, yeah, they kind of have to with this Herald push. They want to at least guarantee crashes, which it should.
Oh, Hextech ultimatum onto Benny. His health bar is getting low as it can be. Almost going to be, yeah.
Oh my god.
Nice step in. Herald is going to charge in the bot lane, and Dorado Gaming starts the Dragon up.
Yeah, they're a little late on that Herald play, so they don't get any plates for it, just a little bit of damage here. Emperor does have a decent play over the wall. They do ward it, so they will be able to see him. Depends on the angle he goes.
They're going to go for it. They're going to go over the wall.
Oh, nice scatter the weak, but he is going to go. He gets a nice couple of kills, but a cleanse coming out from 48K. He's trying to get out of there, but an ultimate on top of him. Here comes Zaya ultimate over the top of the wall. Flash force out of station. But K-Pep still into the Drake and manages to claim the Dragon. Now she is going to get hit. K-Pep is going to drive right into that. Carbine trying to get over, get a knock-up, misses. So does the hook. It is a Hextech Soul graduation starter.
I think Camille, yeah, I think Camille can get top to tier 2 here.
You think? Oh yeah,
at the very least get a lot of damage on it and then move for Herald, because that Ornn TP was after the fight was over, TP's down, relinquishes all pressure. You have no other TPs to cover off. Sinja's on a base timer, and yeah, Massive gets. You can just ignore this.
Might
fight.
ignore
Wow,
it.
he actually does get to tier 2. A really nice knockup. He's trying to focus on the wave. It doesn't matter. Massive takes the tier 2 and starts to make his way down towards the Herald.
Oh my
I
god.
forgot how broke Trinity Force Camille is. And by
it's
broke, I mean how strong. Goodness gracious. I mean, but that's just that champion. I have a love-hate relationship with Camille.
As much as like yes, that's a very Camille thing to do. It's honestly a mistake from Benny. Like I said, he TP'd after the fight was over, just relinquishes all pressure top lane. They have no TPs to match, no one's recalling it fast enough to match her. Just give over the tier 2, and they gave over Drake as well because they overcommitted for the fight. Only got 1 kill onto Corey JJ because the cleanse is a little bit late. Had to blow both summoners and ended up dying as well. So, but honestly, it's a positive gold trade for them. Like a very positive gold trade. They get 600 local gold on Camille. She can now go down bot lane, which she has already, and just split push for that bot tier 1. They can 4-man this mid tower and go play for this girl super easily fast. They'll have to as well.
Oh my god, no.
Gonna dive into Showtime right there, but luckily doesn't have to burn the flash to survive that hook shot.
Yeah,
I was also gonna say that like Camille is 3,200 gold ahead of Thorn right now at the moment. From first tower, from getting the tier 2 solo gold, mind you, and 3 kills on top of that as well. She's feeling real good. Once this Hydra is done, I'm already feeling like we're gonna see the same thing that Darter and I saw last week in Rampage with that complete one shot that we saw. Oh my lord!
Nice.
To bait out.
I think he's trying to bait out the quickness from Carbine there, because if he blows it, he can go for 1v2, but doesn't use it there.
Especially here, they could fight this.
Corey JJ might get dove on.
Yeah, I mean, the hook shot's gonna come out and land onto Carbine, but he does return it into a knockup 17, misses the hook. But using that, the lantern gives Camille a little bit of extra shield damage.
Okay, you take those. I think you take those. Overall though, it's very really good try on the play. I was going to actually just say that Jinx has been kind of just free in the mid lane this entire time, and they need to rotate the bottom. Ornn here cannot defend against this. He will definitely battle.
They can just threaten this tower. I'm surprised they're not actually.
Me too, which is very interesting.
They're 3v1 in mid lane. They see Zed on top wave. They know Showtime and Carbine are still bot, but they don't end up going for it. Just because they don't know where Emperor is on the map, so it's a little bit risky to go that deep, I guess. But they could threaten it. And it is Stormracer Jinx, like I thought it might be in the game.
Okay.
I do like that Syndra's just sitting on the Seekers. I was kind of hoping that she wouldn't just build Zhonya's first, because then we get into some other issues, but is going not Zhonya's first, just gets the Seeker's arm guard for lane, which is good. Also, Shirelia's on Thresh is interesting.
Yeah, I actually think that's very interesting.
I like it.
I like it too. I mean, it's also the go button, because Thresh can be that go button. I mean, besides Camille, we know Camille can be the go button. That's just what she does.
Oh, Carbine gonna jump in on the Thresh. Hook's not gonna be able to land onto something, but they got a good, decent amount of damage onto him.
I think Carbine dies if they go for that. They just don't have the damage. Like, yes, Zed has Duskblade, but if you blow your all of like your entire load on 17 and kill him, then I think they both die, lose all the pressure before Drake fight. Massive now finally able to crack the spot lane tier 1. The last tower that they need to go for is this mid tier 1. They should be able to get loads of files for it.
Should be Hydra done too. I think Ravenous should be on completion.
They can just get take Drake. It's pretty simple game from them here.
This is exactly what we see from the likes of, like, like Gen G, for instance. I mean, super normal macro. I mean, it's just that's what they do. They just they know when the objectives are coming, which is weird that they sacked the first Drake, but that's probably because they were like, we don't need it right now.
Yeah, they made a few little missteps earlier on in the game. The Herald timer was late. They ended up relinquishing Drake, even though they had a lot of mid push and cryo on bot lane. But aside from those mistakes, they've done pretty well, especially around massive suppression. They played well. I also do think they could play a little bit more heavily for this mid-tier 1. I do think Showtime should just walk at this tier 1 and just take it. He will do that, I hope. They just should
please?
just take the tower. Yeah, they should just take the tower.
They really can't fight this.
They're not gonna do it. Looks like Crimson Spartans might want to try to do this. A nice onto the orange, but here comes the Crimson Can.
Oh, the stock one.
wiped out. Emperor manages to pick up the Dre in that chaos. Man's trying to go over the top of the wall to jump on the Carbon and manages to take him out. VIP Emperor is now back. Instead uses his flash or his shadows to get out of there. Picks up the Dre, but now it's that top lane 1v1 story we saw all landing phase. Massive jump on Benny. Benny flash. Benny go to fountain.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's dead. I see. This is, and they don't get. They stole the Drake, thankfully, but they lose the they lose the fight 3-for-2. Jinx is still up. They can easily take this tower. There's no pressure on them whatsoever. Massive can pressure this tier 2 as well. There's no pressure on him whatsoever. They get 2 towers off that play drop. 1 Drake, sure, not the greatest, but they get a good gold lead and good map pressure off it. So honestly, still a pretty neutral play.
Camille almost has 10,000 gold. I'm just gonna casually point out. Still hasn't backed, by the way. So we'll have
She
that
should back
Hydra
off now. Yeah, she will.
100%. Like,
Got
it will be 2 items.
25k in pocket.
Yeah, this is a 2-item Camille. Maybe 2.5 if I'm thinking kind of out of my mind at the moment. But
I mean, yeah, she should
she's
sit
got
on the
Hydra in
Tiamat.
pocket.
She should sit on Tiamat honestly and just buy like Death Stance.
Death Stance,
kind of unkillable. Or like a Hex Drinker or something. Just because she really cares. It's probably just a Death Stance, or she just builds Rav full.
and then goes to Stance next
Full,
too. It looks
full
like.
sends it on the Ravenous.
Yeah. I think Death Stance is just super strong, but they're building it anyways, and they're so far ahead of the matter.
Yeah, I will continue my complaints about Death Dance. Item for stream. That item is broke on certain champions, and it's just ridiculous. I built it on Aurelia, and it's like, oh, I just don't die now. All right, cool.
Yeah,
but,
you take such little damage because you take it as damage over time instead of all at once, so you just completely survive any AD burst, and then on top of that, you can also get other like lifesteal items, and then you pretty much never die. So.
Yep. And I'm gonna kind of rewind a little bit. Does she have IE? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like 200 gold off.
I'm gonna rewind, not really rewind, but kind of bring it back as we are 22 minutes into the game. Baron's on the map. I mean, not that that really matters because once Jinx finishes IE, unless they're not gonna do that. Okay, guys, Jinx, go get your item.
Jinx is she's 20 gold off.
I mean, cool, but why are they posturing for Baron? They should. Oh, never mind. That's why.
Yeah.
Trying to find an engage right there. 17 and Carbine both missing their CC.
That didn't hit, which I'm actually surprised.
Hit Baron, hit Baron.
I did, yeah. You just do it. The Rakan ult's down. I mean.
Corey's facing. He has IE, that's why.
Okay, that's why.
They're like, hey guys, chill. I have my item. We take fight after, which is, I mean, I would say the same thing if I was in this game. And yeah, 2-item Jinx now. They can just walk up at this Baron, hit it, try and force the TP, force him to overcommit. They win the 4v4. Syndra can't match Massive as TP. Obviously, Syndra doesn't has Ignite. And there's no way for Syndra to cancel the TP from Massive either. So they can just easily force a 4v5 around this Baron. They can just play for push in mid and then just move and just do a dance around with Massive pressure on bot lane. So
I do gotta give some credit to Crimson Spartans right here with their vision control. It has been fairly good.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
really defending.
they have really good defensive vision. The only issue is, since they have to play defensive vision, right? Just because of the game state and where the gold lead is at, and they know they're behind. But they just can't be proactive with their vision line, so it's a little bit feels bad. They're defending their jungle well and allowing Emperor to actually farm, which is nice because he has 2-0, has 2 items on Fiddlesticks. He'll be doing a ton of damage. So if they can find the ults that they have been finding, they can turn these fights. I mean, we saw it at Drake there with that massive ult. They were able to actually get 2 kills even though they're down 4k gold. So
I mean, let's be real though. That like the entirety of the gold lead is Camille. That's pretty much what it is. Everywhere on the rest of the map, it's not. I wouldn't say like very even, but it's mostly even across the rest of the map. If Camille's not there, they can win a 4v4 if they hit their ultimates.
The
like
jungle are behind gold. Jinx is only up 800. It's mainly the item break points.
Yeah,
that's the big thing, right? Because
they're trying to find a pick on Corey JJ. Corey JJ forcing that cleanse, but they do manage to get the kill. But a nice counter, the weak slaying of both of them.
Yep.
VIP Emperor goes down immediately. Carbine uses that quickness trying to get out.
Okay.
Loses the grand entrance, but the Shurelya's battle song pops in response. Many tries to get out of that one. He goes unstoppable, and he goes to the fountain. feels bad. Meanwhile, back in the mid lane, Senjutsu Ignite kicking down. Here comes the hook shot over the top of the wall. And
Oh my
Carby
God.
gets
Good
eliminated by Jason, and we could just do the Baron now, boys.
I'm not gonna do it without
they
Jinx.
should
I
go
don't think.
Drake.
Yeah.
Jinx don't have the damage for it right now, so they just go Dragon, take it, even it up to 2 Drake. Yeah, they just way overcommit onto Jinx. I mean, if I'm Jinx in this game, I feel I'm a little tilted because I'm doing one shot on cooldown. It's because it's fiddlesticks and you walk up like 5 millimeters too far and get ulted. That burns doesn't burn flash there, doesn't make flash. Kind of trade even summers because it's exhaust flash and and then they just overcommit way too deep under the tower and then die for it. Play it against absolutely unraveled. Benny dies solo again against Neil.
Oh my God.
Showtime Hextech ultimatum followed by the ultimate
Yeah.
from Zaya, but it does not matter.
Nope.
I got deja vu, Darter.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel like we saw this last week because we did.
They did, yeah. And I mean, that's what I was talking about by you can't Zaya ult out of a Hextech ultimatum. Yes, you can cancel it, but as soon as you come out, you're just one shot anyways. So you do a Zaya ult for nothing.
Right. But looks like we're gonna.
Coming for Syndra on the opposite side of where the rest of the team is. Carby did a really good job of trying to fish out the vision, trying to get vision in onto
Really
the Baron pit. And it is just getting taken right now. Really nice hook shot over the top of the wall. The first is going to go through. Carby's health bar is still very low. Emperor decides to get his ultimate, pops his stopwatch, but Sigil wants to see his face. It's that. Down to the Reaper to shut down, going over to Emperor. Carby's still alive. Does not matter. The passive is the entire team. And a really great let's call it. It's about to get pulled back by from Showtime.
there's
Trying to
Jinx,
take
never
out the
mind.
jungler. It's Benny and Showtime in a 1v2 situation, but Jinx is just too excited about that play, and they get an ace for the side of Dorado game.
Baron if they want to, yeah.
Low-key thought Dorado threw this game the second Camille died. I'm like, then Hyper was like, oh wait, Jinx came. I'm like, oh never mind.
Yeah, I was like under my bed. I was like, yeah, they're just one reason away from winning this fight. Because Corey JJ was completely untouched. Jason went a little bit too ham there, walked into the middle, ult gets feared and dies. This time Massive dives on the back line, ends up dying as well, but then Jinx gets a great reset. Just Cinder goes way too deep with this ult on the 17, and then the fight just wraps from there.
Waiting.
They're trying to wait for Camille respawn, yeah.
Yep. And
There he is.
all five.
Yeah,
All five.
nice.
Yeah. Yep.
Now
And then they just
Massive
kind
can
of
just
just wait.
run off of this. Yeah, absolute nuisance. He can go bot, it's easier because you want the tier 2, yeah. But he should be opposite objective next pick in this range 250. You could also put Massive mid here and then just play 1-4 mid to bot. And then once you take the spot tier 2, you move mid and then take mid tier 2. Or you do it the other way where Massive's alone on bot, play 4-man mid and go take the mid tier 2 and then the bot.
Oh yeah.
I would assume they do one of those two things. They can play a 1-3-1 because how strong
Oh, well, if this happens.
Oh, Deadpool on the Massive, trying to use his Shadow Clone to get out of that, but he was stuck in the Hextech ultimatum and just gets blown up.
Yep, and all the Zed players now know that how that interaction works. You cannot W out of that.
And I'm just gonna comment back on that last fight that happened right before the Baron. It was close.
Yes.
Until Corey JJ shows up. So I mean that kind of goes to show that Crimson Spartans are in like an okay position. The goalie is a little deceptive. At least it was deceptive. Right now it's kind of like
It's very real at this point.
But before that it was close. But now I mean look what Camille's doing. She's completely ignoring Orange and taking this tier 3.
I mean, and Benny could try to get out of that, but he really can't because she's got Death Stance already. She's got Ravenous Hydra. She's got the Triforce, so she can just keep doing this and the cooldown come back up. And just hits the flash. She is exhausted. Carby did hit the quickness, doesn't do much in response though. You just can't catch it.
I think that, oh my lord. Oh wow, that was a good side step. Massive is kind of
Committing
nuts.
way too hard for Massive here.
Yeah.
They lose their full base for that.
Oh, and they die now.
Jason manages to barely wow, Jason almost takes out Carby. Carby barely manages.
One kill will end it just because of Jinx resets for patch. We can start stacking them and ending the game.
Man, it's gonna be nuts. So we saw that 30 attack speed video on Twitter.
I saw it in the game live because this is the Emperor over the top of the wall gets a really nice chunk of healing Jason
One reset is all we
off
need.
his stopwatch. There goes VIP Emperor
Rocket.
stopping
There it
him
is.
himself, but Corey JJ now has gotten excited. Massive uses the Hextech ultimatum onto the ADC, but their health bars are dangerously low. We'll be using that shield to save Benny, but he is really tanky at this point, but still can get annihilated.
They're sitting on a lot of gold. That's why.
That
One of them
and
has like
also-
1 to 2.5k gold in inventory. Both of their carries, top and bot, have 2.5k in inventory. Still not 4 items. So yeah, they just didn't have the gold lead. What is real? They just didn't have it on the map. So that fight, that's why that fight was so close. I just looked at the gold lead and I was like, oh, that's why they're sitting on like 6k gold total in inventory. So
That
or like
makes a lot of sense.
7k gold. So their gold lead is at
Camille
most only 3
TP
now.
to the
Threatening
top
CP.
lane.
This is cheeky.
She can just threaten the end 1v4. Honestly, they take Drake for free if they want to, or they can just run it down mid with supers. However they
It's
want
'cause
to play this.
It's all 3 inhibitors down, so there's that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's
And
just obviously
the Nexus turrets as well.
Oh, he's
They're actually
sitting, on
gonna
the,
ignore
he's sitting on the
Drake.
Hex Gate.
they're actually just ignoring.
Well, they don't need to. I
Drake-
mean, Baron
yeah,
falls
yeah,
off.
they
I think they shouldn't take it though.
You're right. But,
Oh,
my
really
goodness.
nice scatter of the week, finding Showtime
This
right
is cheeky
there.
from Fiddle. Oh, but it
I
doesn't
mean, he
get
tries to get
anything.
the backline, doesn't manage to get it, but it's going to be a 5v5.
Oh, he's dead now.
Wins the game. Master comes over the top of the wall, but K-Tech stops Harvey. He got the push to try to use that grand entry to find a charm on to Jason right there. The backline, K-Tech manages to take out the Zen, who's trying to get onto the backline.
There it
JJ
is.
now on a rampage. Hextech ultimatum to stop Showtime from getting into the fountain, and it is an ace by all.
So
Yep.
that's about what we expected. I was
Yep.
I was getting ready to say that one of the other biggest punishments about this comp from Crimson Spartans is that it was so low range. Is your only range was literally just Zaya. I mean,
Mhm.
you could argue Fiddle, not really though, but just it was just super unlucky and just a
Yep.
really large draft gap, and it just clearly showed that. And then Masuf being Camille doing exactly what we expect.
Would you, say
Camille
that
to do.
Massive was massive?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but
I mean,
also
the
screw
guy's
you.
12, 1, and 7 on Camille, I think.
Yeah, I mean that one death was a fluke, but I mean I think they were sitting on gold before that.
I
that-
don't think
that
it was a
last night.
fluke. I think it's a little bit down on Crimson Spartans. They did play that fight well, especially down gold. They got the kill because he overextended into the back line, got killed for
Fair.
it. They got the shutdown gold, but they just weren't able to get enough fights in their favor. Like I said, they're playing. I know Hyper mentioned it. Their vision was good, but it was extremely defensive, so they couldn't make any
Yeah.
proactive plays to try and get back in the game.
Yeah,
Especially when you
yeah.
have like a Fiddlesticks and a Zed, you kind of want to when you're behind, and those two guys were ahead for most of the game. So you
Yep.
kind of need to look for these bush plays, try to catch off people, get those shutdowns into those two. Into their pockets and then try to come back from there. But since their vision is so defensive, they're kind of playing on the back foot the whole game, and then Dorado
Mhm.
just ran them over, so to speak. So, yeah.
Yep. I mean, I don't really have much to say. I mean, do you have anything, Hyper?
The thing that I gotta say is that's a top canyon right there.
It's
Yeah,
Camille Orn
that's-
matchup.
That was kind
Orn is
of
not
disgusting to
blindable.
watch.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's just he's not blindable anymore because it's not like it was. I think the beginning of last year where it's like pick
Yeah.
Orn or you're trolling. It's just not that
Yeah.
anymore. And it's just unfortunate that that's kind of the matchup. Then that's when it ended up happening. But that'll do it for us for game one. It went pretty much exactly how we expected based off of the
Yep.
draft. So King Crimson Spartans turn it around. I really hope so because my 2-1 prediction's on the line. But otherwise, we'll see you guys on the other side of the break. The phrase for today's stream is "Screw it, we ball." We back on the analyst desk.
Yes, sir.
Again. Still ISP gapped. It's also Hyper and Darter Wolf on the side. We're back from game one, which I would say was definitely draft gapped for sure, and it was shown throughout the entirety of the game. It wasn't a complete stomp because there were moments where Crimson Spartans had a couple of close fights, but now as they are on the back foot, as they're down, it's up to them to kind of decide what they're going to do. As they're also swapping sides to blue sides. What do we expect from the picks? I mean, I'm thinking Dorado's going to ban Jinx, or if they're going to have an answer if they leave it open.
Honestly, I think Core JJ like kind of egos that lane and says, "Go ahead and pick Jinx. I'll still beat you."
There's no way. The champ's just too OP. I mean, like, I think they might leave Caitlyn open instead of and just ban the Jinx away. Hoping that Crimson Spartans first pick Caitlyn. Excuse me. There's a decent amount of priority in that champion at all levels of play. I think she's very sleeper right now, very strong if you can play around it and know how to play it well, which Crimson Spartans seem to do. Just because Showtime plays a ton of the champion and looks like they played in Flex as well. So I think that they might trade that off. We might see Caitlyn first pick, maybe a Kai'Sa first pick, something like that. And then they could also first pick Xayah again. And if the Jinx is banned, it's not the worst. There are less answers, but you kind of open yourself up to a few counter picks. But definitely there's a few options for them here.
I mean, Showtime didn't play terrible on Xayah last game.
No, he did about as well as he could.
Yeah, like he did as well as he could. I mean, it was just the team comp that he was
It's just so hard to play Xayah in that game. That's why I said I don't like the pick. It's just super hard to play. It's not his fault that he wasn't able to do anything. It's so hard.
No, not at all. But it was something that we definitely highlighted, like in draft. You guys highlighted during draft, after draft, during game. But I think from here is I think Crimson Spartans have pretty good blue side drafts from what we saw from their last series.
Yeah.
So that's something that they think that they have to their advantage. I'm not going to ramble on too long with this, especially because I don't see what's going on in the client, and I don't know what y'all are saying there.
They're getting a little antsy.
All right, so let's go ahead and just send it to draft. Then we'll just go ahead and just eat it on that way. You two take it away, and I'll be back when you're done.
Sounds good. So, I mean, we talked about potentially the. By the way, Marco, you got the wrong draft link posted set up right there.
Yeah, don't worry. He's working on it.
You could use it as a talking point about what they did the last game.
So we still got the Gangplank banned away.
We should see Ivern again. Maybe they go with Caitlyn and Jinx ban, leave the Leona up. I don't think they necessarily need to ban it. They are going to ban the Caitlyn again.
Go and keep the Caitlyn away.
Yeah, I think they can leave Leona up. I think it's fine. Maokai ban as well still for Crimson Spartans. I think they should just ban Jinx and then Ivern. And then I would assume
Ivern should be banned away.
Oh yeah, that champ is so strong.
I think Dorado should probably ban away Ivern right here because Crimson Spartans, they are going to, because if they leave it open, I say they first pick.
And then we have to ban Jinx. Yep.
Yeah,
and then we're gonna first pick Xayah or Kai'Sa. Maybe Ezreal if we're comfortable playing it. And then there's a few jungle first picks open as well that they can go for. I do think first picking Kai'Sa Xayah is probably the best angle for them. We'll see what they go for here. As long as they don't first pick support, I think it's fine. The only support that's first pickable, Ashe. Okay, good. Yeah, nice.
I'm good with the Ashe.
There's very few counters into it, honestly. Like the first pick Ashe, there's really only like Twitch and like Ezreal Braum does fine because you want to deny the Braum from the Ashe lane, and like Cog Braum does fine as well.
I like playing Cog into an Ashe matchup.
You can also be Psycho and play like MF and Mumu.
No, I won't play MF into an Ashe. It's just
I will. You just one shot that champ. It's so fun.
It's just too abusive.
I would expect like Ezreal Braum or something, or Senna, Seraphine maybe.
I think
Seraphine. Yeah. So the problem is they kind of can't pick the other part of this lane. Because if they pick Seraphine, Braum is super strong for Crimson Spartans in that case.
Yeah.
So they kind of can't slam it. They have to kind of pick jungle here.
Keep Senna
I'm curious to see what they go for. Well, you can play Senna Seraphine, Senna TK, Senna Cho'Gath, Senna Mordekaiser, Senna Nyla
I like
works.
the Senna Cho'Gath. I saw that. I saw a video of somebody doing that the other day.
See what they go for. Zac. Okay, that is. Okay, yeah, good. They did pick their jungle. Yeah, like I said, picking the other half of the Senna lane really leaves you open to a counter pick.
I mean, you still have Ashe. Why not just lock in Braum right here? And
Yeah,
then
the
pick
Braum
his
pick is
jungle.
super strong. Melio also very
I
good.
like the Milio hover,
Yeah, it's good into
especially with
Zach as
his
well.
buffs that came in this patch.
Yeah.
He's not terrible anymore.
Ash Melio was strong before he got buffed, and then Melio got buffed, so it's probably the best Ash pairing alongside like Renata and Braum are, I'd say, the top 3 lane pairings with
All right, we're
Ash.
gonna go locking in the Milio and
Poppy's super strong
Crimson
as well, yeah.
Spartans go ahead and hover Poppy. I
Nice,
do
I like
like
it a lot.
that pick because I mean
Zach
it
is gonna
just
have a hard time.
yeah, it's just gonna negate a lot of Zach's engage here. Now,
Yep. They can go Seraphine if they want
yeah,
to.
I mean they can go Seraphine, but
Oh, that's
I
super risky.
I would not pick
It's
the Blitzcrank.
now, yeah, okay. So Blitzcrank is really good into Melio,
It's not
but
good
with
into the team
Senna,
fights though.
well, I think it can be, especially with like Zach. You can just play to like full
Okay.
chain CC one person, especially since Zach is there's no shot he's diving against Poppy. So you just kind of like you just have to play off hook. Blitzcrank is like a hardcore Melio counter. But
Yeah.
just with Senna, it's super interesting. I personally don't like farming Senna right now. They haven't buffed farming Senna at all. Senna is just really strong, specifically in fasting lanes, which is so we might see a farming Blitzcrank, which I think would be super gas.
That would be
Um,
hilarious.
Ornban is interesting.
I was about to say I don't know why they're going for the Ornn ban. It wasn't that annoying in
Well,
game number
I
one.
think yeah, I think they just assume that Crimson Spartans is gonna ban the Camille anyways, regardless. So they just kind of have to get rid of it because that's probably their best answer into it. Because yeah, it looks like Massive doesn't really play any other hard like Ornn counters other than Akshan, and I don't think they're gonna play Akshan in this draft. So I think
Akshan
he
is
just
gonna
has
get
to.
it's gonna have a hard time at the Poppy.
Yeah, I think they have to ban the Ornn if knowing that Crimson Spartans are probably going to get rid of Camille. Malphite ban makes a lot of sense as well,
Malphite as
especially in
well.
like with the Senna. I think Crimson Spartans have to ban the Fiora.
Targeting Benny here in that second round. Not even
Kind
worried
of
about the
have
mid
to ban
lane.
Fiora here. Maybe Syndra, but
I
I'm not a
was
huge fan of the Ahri ban.
I mean Ari is oh wow, who's playing in the mid lane? I can't believe it.
This
I
might
mean
be super psycho, but Dorado Gaming could go like Jace here on 4.
oh, you think?
And it would be
Jace
kind
in
of
the mid
crazy,
lane?
yeah. Yeah, mid Jace, yeah.
I mean,
I don't know if their mid laner plays it, but I think it's pretty good here.
but they're gonna go ahead and lock in the Fiora ban. I mean,
Yeah.
Gwen is still a pretty good
Makes a lot of
counter into
sense.
most tanks. I don't
Yeah.
know how well Gwen fits into their comp.
It's super weird.
Yeah,
Just because like this Zach is kind of throwing things off for me right now, especially into like Poppy Melia. They kind of can't play dive with it, so they have to play pick with it. And
I
Gwen doesn't really
think you just
want
lock
to
in
do
your
that.
Syndra here, right? Because they're gonna
Gonna go with Ari. Okay,
go
so
with
they need
Ahri.
AD
Okay,
top. Hmm.
interesting.
There's not a whole lot of angles here. I mean, they could play Darius, but I don't know if they will.
I like either. I think the Silas would be a little bit better
It's
here,
super
personally.
unplayable into Poppy Melia. It's so unplayable.
The side, no. Crimson Spartans playing
For them,
Silas. Yes.
oh, I mean, I think it's okay. I'm not surprised they're liking in Katarina. It's their one trick. Um, it kind of messes with their draft though a little bit.
I like the
Cho'Gath.
Cho'Gath. I like
That's
the
crazy.
Cho'Gath.
Okay, are we gonna play Olaf or not, Dorado? Are we gonna do
I
it?
like the Cho'Gath.
Are we gonna
They're
play Olaf?
hovering it.
Are we
I mean, what
going to
about
play
Aatrox?
Olaf?
What about Aatrox for their team?
It's kind of hard into Cho'Gath.
Isn't
They
the
can
Cho'Gath
play GP
Aatrox?
actually. They can play
GP off the
GP.
table. GP's off the table.
They could play. Oh, right. I think they have to play Olaf here. I think it's like their only real pick. I don't know if Massive is comfortable playing it though. That's definitely the best
what
ship
about
though.
a Jax here?
Oh, it's so impossible to play against Poppy Emilio. You can't play Jax in this
Oh
match.
wow, man!
You
Dude, the
can't.
Pop
You
Emilio
can't.
is just putting
You
so
can't.
many
You have to
players.
play. I really think Olaf is their only answer here.
Maybe,
Like I said, they can play Darius, but I think they have to pick Olaf.
maybe Gary?
No pick. Okay, what is it?
Who are they gonna?
What is it, guys? It's such a hard pick. I think it has to be Olaf. It's the only. If it's not, it's so hard to play. Kale.
Okay.
No way they are picking Kale.
Nah, I'm coming back early. Why would they pick Kale?
That's unreal, actually.
No,
Wait,
no, no,
that's
no, 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 no. Hold on a second. So
no,
I'm coming back early.
that's
as
crazy, bro. What?
as predicted, Ash first pick, great. Milio, good pairing. I'm gonna completely ignore, and I liked both drafts mostly up till the Katarina. It kind of throws it off a little bit, especially in the
Yeah,
Ari.
yeah.
I'm not a
I'm
fan
not-
of that matchup.
I
Yeah.
like it and I don't like it. I like it because it gives them backline
They
access, and I
have to
don't
play
like
Olaf there.
I don't
the
like
way
Cat.
they pick
So
too.
I like Katarina because it gives them the backline access to get on top of Senna. And I don't like it just because we're playing into Blitzcrank, because the minute
Blitzcrank.
Katarina decides to go in, Blitzcrank kind of just focuses his point and click CC onto her. So I mean that's why I don't like the Katarina, but I do like it. I do and I don't.
It's
My
like
opinion of it
it's
is gonna be
fine.
like
It's kind of like the
50-50.
Zed in last game, honestly. Like
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
doesn't really fit the comp, but if it gets fed, it's still like it's an assassin, so you're gonna
It's an
one shot the
assassin.
Senna, so it's like whatever.
Yeah, so
I mean, and that's why you have the assassins is to pick off the AD.
I'm gonna speed run to the top lane matchup because as
We
you guys
had
were
a-
kind of going
we
over,
had a I think it's a bit of a U.GG Cho'Gath counter incident.
I
Is it really?
think so. Because, I mean, sure, but like Kale is absolutely useless from levels 1 till 10. I will go that
Yeah,
far and say 1 to
yeah.
10. Once she hits level 11, then yeah, she's fine. She can do whatever. And not saying that Masu probably can't pilot this champion, but it's the fact that this champion needs so much time to scale. You guys
Yeah.
were saying Olaf, which I agree. I was saying Aurelia under my breath too, because like if you
It's
want
just
like a
so
carry,
hard in a Poppy Amelia, but like in lane
and,
it's
and
good. Yeah.
I think that's why they took so long to make a
I
pick.
think-
Because like we have a Poppy Milio to play
I
into.
think what they could have done is Quinn, but I don't know if Massive plays Quinn.
I mean, yeah, Kale
Queen.
is one of Cho'Gath's harder matchups.
Yeah, like I said, it's a U.GG Cho'Gath counter incident. It's like, oh my, we just like look up Cho'Gath and be like, oh, Kale's like 56% win rate matchup. Sure, we'll pick it. And it's like, yeah, but like no, it's a little.
It
bit...
doesn't really help your team in this scenario.
It's not honestly, it's not the worst thing they could have picked. There's so many worse picks here.
Yeah,
It's just like
that's
really
fair.
out of left field with what they're going for in this comp. They have like
Yeah.
full pick with Ari Blitzcrank, and this Zac can play pick really well. The reason why I was campaigning for Olaf so hard is it's the only champion I really think that allows them to play team fights
Yeah.
without
ignores
finding a
all
pick
CC.
first. Just because he can ignore all their CC, just run at them, and they don't really have like anything to deal with an Olaf except for this Ashe, which obviously can kite an Olaf, but Olaf in ultimate will just two-shot her anyways. So
I mean,
That's
if
where
you're
like-
the
I
that's
mean, if
where
you're going for the
TP.
pick, like a pick comp, like, and I don't know how well it would be into their comp, but Alawi.
ooh.
Um,
I think the Cho'Gath matchup is hard, but
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I mean, because what you can do when you're playing against Teamfight is there's two things you can do. You either play for a complete like split push comp and just siege, so that that way you can just ignore team fights, which is sort of what this Kale accomplishes.
Yeah.
And then the other angle you can play versus teamfight is play a pick comp, which is what they were pretty much drafting for with like I said, the Ari Blitzcrank and Zac. They
Mhm.
have like super strong pick potential. So there, it's this Kale kind of makes the draft a little weird for them. I think if they're not comfortable playing like Olaf or Quinn or something that just can just like sit in like Tryndamere or something that could just sit inside then and ignore the whole team, and they just play like 4v4 for picks and just force someone to answer sides, which I think is what Alawi does as well. I just think the matchup
Yeah.
individually inside is
Alawi-
hard.
Alawi does a little bit of both.
Yeah,
she
it's
doesn't
just
sit in side lane, but she is super like beneficial to a team fight.
yeah.
I
I honestly think it's an Olaf Darius angle though, personally. For
I
me.
think so too. That's kind of what I
Yeah.
was thinking. Has Spectale started yet or no?
Yeah,
Yes.
250.
Okay, so let's go over Dragon Souls real quick. I'm actually gonna say this one will probably be an Infernal game. That's what I'm thinking, banking on.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go Hex Tech again because it's the same soul every game.
True.
I'm actually gonna go Ocean Soul this time.
Okay. So we'll talk more about this, Kale, because I won't be watching it, but I'm gonna be kind of like eyeing it as much as I can, just how this matchup is. But we're gonna go ahead and take a short little break, and when we come back, I'm still gonna be here for game 2 between these two teams. So we'll see what happens.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Rift here on Unstoppable. Saturday nights, Dorado Gaming Iota versus Crimson Spartans. Dorado Gaming Iota up 1 game versus Crimson Spartans, and it has turned into an interesting game already. I am gonna say it. Already turned into an interesting game.
Yeah, someone must have been reading the patch notes from like March, because I don't think Predator Poppy has been a thing for quite some time.
Also, Grasp of the Undying Katarina into a ranged lane
Oh my god. Okay.
is not real. I know this guy plays a lot of this champion, but no amount of cooking will allow this to be real. There's no way, and he
I
has
like
to
the
be going
kick-ups.
Sunder, otherwise it's completely troll.
Yo,
Um,
I love this backing animation on the Zac.
Yeah, bro, it's the best Zac skin in the
It's
entire
the
game.
best one. Yeah, there's no other good Zac skins. That's the only one that
I
matters.
can't believe it went Grasp Katarina into a ranged lane. It's unreal. I don't want to like flame, but like that is unreal.
I don't know. Oh, what's the first Drake out of curiosity?
Chemsec.
Is it Chemtech first? Oh, ho, ho, we're clean with
Yo,
it,
this
lad.
is Army Blitzcrank.
Is it Army Blitz?
Yeah, Senna took the support item.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. So AP Blitz.
Yeah, it's farming Blitz. I was right.
Let's
I was right.
go! It's
It's
farming Blitz.
Blitzcrank. All right, how many? Okay, bets now. How many times are we gonna comment on Senna farm?
Probably a lot.
Wait, what do you mean?
Wow, Senna's down 130 farm.
We're gonna forget.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh wait, she's farming. Wait, she have to
Wait,
see it.
I'm
Stop
so
it.
confused.
Well, I hope it's not farming Senna with a support item.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Okay, there we go. All right.
All right, we're doing it right.
Let's not farm. All right, so we're doing some cooking on both sides, I think.
Yeah, there's some chefing going on here, and I'm not sure if I'm here for it.
I mean, I mean, if anybody's chefing, it's Dorado this time around.
I don't know. Crimson Spartans have a Grasp Katarina and a Predator Poppy on their team. It's a bit. there's more. There's a lot. There's cooking on both sides here.
Oh wow, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
And one thing I do want to kind of like briefly touch over is we're kind of like fawning over the runes. Is sometimes they can make or break games as we notice. Let's say maybe hypothetically this is hello. We're a little bit of.
I'd say Sinja, even though he's in a ranged matchup, he's using those grass props very well. He's gonna dash right back in onto Jason.
Flash.
Flash.
Yeah.
He's
Not do it.
his dagger. I don't know if you do that one since it's sitting under tower, my friend.
Okay, got a little nervous there. I'm not gonna lie, but I was gonna say is I know sometimes in some of our games, like okay,
Flashing forward, trying to get in onto it, but he is gonna get charmed up, and a first blood going over Jason. Got an assist from the tower right there.
I'm gonna just cancel what I was gonna say. Never mind.
That's less than ideal.
Yeah.
Poppy's still moving though.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's cool. There's that. Unfortunately, her bot lane could come over.
Yep, bot lane is starting to rotate over. Blitzcrank making his way up as well, but they're going to see him, and no surprise still coming out from the Blitzcrank.
I get the overconfidence that that happened there in the mid lane. I understand what the thought process was, but it was just unlucky that it just nothing was close enough to be able to capitalize on that kill. I mean,
Pretty sure Electrocute catches.
Gonna trade that.
Yes, I agree.
I started to like the trade Benny had on the Massive right there. You know, Massive taking the position so that like as Benny's trying to get back to his tower, he's still smacking him.
Oh, it's a ghost. Flash.
It's a yeah. I don't know why they didn't take like a
Use it for
cleanse here.
root and charm, which is interesting. But you know who has cleanse? Corey.
No cleanse of the Ori, no!
And then we're also gonna hear my usual "What are we building on Ari today?"
Okay.
Which will be fun.
Yeah, what are we? Is it a vegan Ori build? No, okay. I think Showtime doesn't actually need cleanse this game because he has Emilio, but Emilio should have cleanse this game.
Yeah,
That I was gonna say because his ultimate doesn't work on him, right?
Central
maybe the
making a
top
roam
lane.
up into the top lane, getting a really good chunk of damage on the Massive right there. But here comes K-Pest.
Oh,
Benny tried to flash it, but he's still going to get knocked up.
Oh my
And
God,
Massive
flashes.
self very low.
Okay.
Caleb managed to pick up that one. VIP Emperor managed to get a gank down there in the bot lane.
What are we doing here?
Get a kill on the VIP Emperor.
Oh.
The guy taken away, and Blitzkrieg manages to pick up that one. Looks like the top lane shenanigans fizzled away as we switched over to the bot lane.
Yeah, both top laners flashing a little interestingly there. That's what we call a short flash where I come from.
Yeah. Yep.
I use a more vulgar term.
I say
yes.
fail flash, but that's just me.
Benny flashed in place mid Zach E. Massive then flashed in place on top of a Cho'Gath Q. Neither top laner actually got the kill there, so it's still fairly.
No, yeah,
fair.
one went to Katarina, one went to Zach. I think it was.
Yep.
That was happening. But I think you're happy with that, especially if you're Sinja on that one, because you know you're getting a kill back from the mistake that you made earlier, which you want this Katarina to realistically be.
Wait,
the one.
that's a bomb, you Cinder. No.
Yeah, she's going. The
Wait.
tank cat.
Is it? Wait, to get off the goal for a second. Okay, I'm gonna just shut up now. I don't know anything about what they're building, and
They're
it's gonna
cooking.
be-
They're cooking there in the mid lane.
No.
I don't know if you should be cooking when seeding is kind of on the line. I don't know if I did not get a chance to look at the standings before.
There's
this,
two
but-
teams that are 3-3, so if they lose, they could be end up in like a 3-way tiebreaker.
Yep. So there's that.
Depending on how head-to-head works, they could be like 3rd, 4th seed after this if they lose.
Yeah, interesting. There goes the most broken ability in the game. The hot shot will not spot out anybody.
Super OP.
Good charm.
Coming out from Jason.
First
So-
item, Ionian boots on Poppy. It's so
Wow.
lit.
We are going right for the Predator. In
VIP
fact,
Emperor manages to get another gank, pushes back 17, but here comes K-Pep from the middle of the lane, flashes forward to try to
There's
get
the
that.
hook. There it
boost.
is.
Nice hook on the VIP Emperor, 17, making sure they lock down the jungler. Really good training from Showtime and Emilio. Don't manage to get a return kill. 17 sitting with no more double buffs, so it's gonna make the lane go a lot easier at this point.
Yeah, that's the issue with first item Ionian boots. You're not tanky at all. Never got absolutely one shot there in that fight, and that's only like a double longsword Senna. She doesn't even have like a completed component or anything.
Ooh, it's really good trade coming from Jason right there.
I'm so scared for this Penry build. Oh, nice.
Oh, what a
That was a good hook.
tower!
I died for it though.
But
Yeah.
Harvey
No, they're okay.
did a really good job of making sure Showtime didn't lose too much health in that engage.
Yeah, if Showtime hits 6, I do think he dies there. He's
100%
close. How close is he? It's
He's
on this
off
way.
his
He hits
wave.
6.
He gets it off
It's
his
2
wave.
minions. It's 2 minions.
Oh boy, this is gonna be really spicy.
Uses the Hawk Shock to try to find Zach instead of to see if they base.
Yeah, next range group he gets it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
No
Ooh,
way, how
it-
close is
Oh, he doesn't. Okay.
What?
He
He's like
literally-
98% to level
Yes,
6.
I hate
That's
it.
tilting, bro.
Oh
I
my
would
god,
XP
one more
as
minute
well.
and he got it.
Yeah, it's like literally one. It's like he could kill a ward and get level 6 at this point.
He killed that ward in the bush.
Yeah, he got the ping, so he could kill a ward and get level 6.
All right,
All right,
there,
there
it
we
is.
go. Now he's 6. All right. The level 6s are now ticking over. We're 8 minutes into the game, so all ultimates are almost available except for Senna, Blitz. Milio just now got his, so just the bot lanes don't have it. Oh, Zach doesn't have it either, actually.
Poppy doesn't have it either.
I mean, can you blame her? Senna's down 43 CS.
See, one of us was gonna do it, and I was like, who is it gonna be? I was like, who's gonna meme it first? but now we have level 6s all up and available in the bot lane, and if this, I'm thinking this is gonna be a Radiant Virtue Blitz. Oh, hold on, top side.
That's with a really nice lane gank onto Benny. Pops that ultimate, bounces around. Benny, unfortunately, is not going to survive that kill going over to Massive. But with the
very
Emperor here looking for a bot lane dive, Chris Arrow finds Corey JJ, and he's
Okay.
looking very dire right there. Health bar taken away, and he goes
Slash.
down. Ash picks up that kill, and Showtime manages to live through that one.
Super
Okay.
clean dive there.
I was just getting ready. Oh, good sidestep.
Ninja
There it
sidestepping
is.
the charm finally.
I think my window's been charmed this whole game.
I was just getting ready to say after that top lane play, it looks like U.GG actually works. So
Yeah, like I said, it's a U.GG Cho'Gath counter incident. Now, since they're getting a lead, or they were getting a lead before that bot dive, now they lost Drake gold lead is pretty much even at this point. It is like 1,300 gold, but it's not that big.
Oh,
I sidestepped the rest into it.
Sinjo finally sidestepping these charms. I like it.
it's
Well, I think it's
a
a both sidestepping and Jason missing them. So. It's a little bit of both.
yeah, you know what? That's fair. But
Like that last one was a great sidestep.
Yeah,
The one
yeah,
before
yeah,
that.
Okay, Pet finds
He's
Poppy
dead.
trying to take the blue buff.
Okay, all right.
Smites the blue buff, then smites the jungler.
We don't need to mastery emote, gentlemen. It's okay.
Try again later.
It's not that serious.
Oh my god! I think it's the first time I've seen that happen in a game.
Bro just ease over the wall, mastery emotes twice, and kills a Poppy with no tank items. They did get Herald for that Drake trade, which is why the gold lead didn't actually take over since they lost Drake after that bot dive. But what does come as a consequence is obviously ADC items. We're looking now. Full Kraken Slayer completed for Ashe, which is massive in this game. Especially since I'm assuming, based on Zach's build, will not be full tank. So this Ashe is going to be absolutely shredding everybody if Showtime is able to maintain this lead and keep it going. So,
Now the flip side is Kale has finished the Nash's
Gonna
2
have
for
a dive
top
right here.
side.
Missing the
there's
hook.
no way they dive this. It's so
No,
inevitable.
yeah, it's so bad if they do. But Kale finishes the Nash's 2, which will make that top lane matchup for sure got a little bit harder.
Yep.
Well, maybe
I
Zach
think-
is here for a counter gank, if anything.
I don't think Poppy's gonna gank this, to be honest with you.
He's here if the hook hits, I think.
Yeah.
If the hook lands, they can one-shot, but if
Oh, here they go.
Handling it. Witness me, brethren, because I am throwing myself in. They find the support, find
really
the
good.
ADC, and Corey JJ finds the kill.
My man
Yeah,
is
that's-
mastery
yeah.
emoting.
They didn't wait for the hook, but they played for the hook. As they played with hook, they just go for chain CC. Hook lands, one-shot it. It's double range spot lane, so they're not super tanky. Emperor isn't tanky either, so if the hook lands on him, I think he's also one-shotable. That's all he has is a Kindle gem for tank stats, so.
Yeah.
Could throw that and make it a 1v2.
I like that they're dropping Herald here. I really do.
It's like we said
They should
last
be able
game.
to get 3 fights.
Make the lane as long as possible, especially for Masu, who is in this. Oh nope, I guess not. Anyways, but like making the lane as long as possible for Massive in this this case, because you want him to be at least level 11 before the first team fight,
Yeah.
and maybe like an item and a half in. So keeping that pace and keeping on track, especially because this is a fasting Senna, you want her to have as much gold as possible as well.
Yeah.
So of course you're just gonna make they're making these really intelligent plays. You know, let's Herald, bot lane, boom, gold to Senna. Leave Kale literally on an island because she's like Cassidy, just needs to be left alone for the next 35 minutes of the game. Or you know, I mean, it won't be 35 minutes, it'll probably be like 15 by the time Kale hits like level 13 at this point. But
yeah, level 10 already, so it should be a little bit pretty soon.
Yeah. Oh, okay. There's another one of those.
I just looked back at Katarina items. I'm losing my mind.
So is this supposed to be a Sunfire into?
I hope it's not a Heartsteel. I'm gonna leave if it's a Heartsteel.
I was actually gonna say either that or Heartsteel. And
If it's Heartsteel, I'm gonna be like actually tilted.
Blitzcrank with the flash hook finds the hook onto Carbine. Carbine still staying alive, but the root is going to land onto Showtime. Showtime is trying to get out of there. His health level is really low, and ultimate
Good
coming
arrow.
out from
No
the Fortune, and
flash.
he'll pop by the Milio. Hook goes wide. They burn so much utility trying to get those kills
surprised
onto Crimson Spartans.
Yeah, I'm surprised 17 would just kind of like walking back and forth. He doesn't want to obviously like take a bunch of chunk damage.
Oh,
Comes
Ari's
Ari,
here.
though.
Oh,
Jason
this
Script
is
coming for the
very
tower that they
downable.
do see her
Oh,
coming.
there's the
TP down
TP.
by the Katarina to try to save this. 17 manages to miss the hook. K-Peps is also here for this interaction. But they're not going to go any further than that.
This Drake should be easy.
it should be free. And it's an Infernal, so we'll just go ahead and just casually say I'm wrong. I will take no more criticism for the rest of the
Should be
day.
a Hextech Soul.
You know what? I'd actually be kind of pissed. I'm not gonna lie.
Katarina jumping onto 17 right
He
there.
does
getting a really
no
good chunk of-
damage.
Getting a really good chunk of damage onto him.
What
The
are we-
Emperor diving himself back into this team so his team can provide a lot of support.
no
here.
ultimate.
Corey
What are we
JJ on the
doing?
wrong side of this. A nice Katarina ultimate manages to take out the Senna, but is now a 2v3. Make that a 3v1 because you cannot do anything else.
Wait.
Into that team, Jason finds a really nice,
Oh, the charm.
a really nice charm, but the hook brings him back in. He finds a kill. The resets, are they enough? He's gonna get
Are we
jumped
missing
up,
something?
knocked
Doesn't
up.
do
How far is he
damage.
gonna take it back to the fountain? We don't know. Here comes 17, a nice
Well, good flash.
That's the K-Paps, but a splash to follow from Sinja. And he manages to survive a weird fight, I would say.
Are we missing something here? Because Katarina got 2 kills during that fight. I was like, wait, she's actually getting kills. What is
She
happening?
doesn't do any damage. I mean, she lasted both of those kills. I mean, like, if that's normal Katarina, she actually kills all 4 of them there.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, if we're assuming this is like,
She kills
I
all
don't-
4 of them, saves her jungler because Corey JJ gets 1 shot inside of that Katarina ultimate.
yeah.
And then
Just-
it's a 4-in-1 Katarina. Your jungler doesn't die. You have full pressure for Drake, but now they're late on Drake time.
I want to see gold real quick, just to see if she has enough gold per item. 1400. All right, let's go back real quick.
It's hard.
It's a hard steal.
It's hard. Oh my god.
What are we doing?
Okay, I know we're sounding like we're flaming, but like, I mean, it's just one of those things where it just doesn't make sense, and I just want everyone in Twitch chat to know that we never see this build, so we don't understand like why you would build this, because a lot of the Katarinas that we see in our games are going full AP and absolutely deleting us and making our lives miserable. I don't think that build's gonna do that. Maybe she goes Nashor's to next for whatever reason, just for some AP, but like, I just don't know what the plan
Is this
here
like
is.
a Titanic Hydra angle?
Let me. It is Titanic. It's Sunfire Titanic. I'm pretty sure is this build, but I think it's so useless. I'm gonna do some research. Hold on.
Especially because that cripples them and having absolutely no AP whatsoever, so they just need to build armor, and then it's just free real estate.
You're relying on.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I don't know what Cinder's doing right there because she gets rooted up and then hooked up. The Ignite taken away. She manages to use that Shuriken jump back over to those minions. The IP Emperor walk into the face of the Blitzcrank just to like stop to make sure Katarina survives that.
Alright.
I'm just trying to understand this, I guess.
Kel's level 12, so she's a champion.
I should actually never build. There's no solo key statistics on it.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh my god, Ari stole
No,
the
never mind, it's there. I see it.
Poppy.
It's
Okay.
0.8% of games, 47%.
Oh my. Okay.
Alright, second Herald drop there in the mid lane. They've managed to get that mid tier 1. Sinja stops the second charge of that, but they still get the turret. And Enchanted Crystal Herald finds the Blitzcrank.
you want this.
Don't know if they're gonna be able to find
Good
anything.
hook.
Carbine gets caught right there, forcing to pop the ultimate. Gibbs drives right on in, manages to take out the Milio, but here comes Jason under the back line, finds the jungler, now jumping onto Showtime. Showtime falls down, heading out, walking to the face of the turret, tries to do something about it, but he can't do anything. That is an ace going over to Dorado.
They just don't have any damage.
I mean that, but like, okay.
I like the engage.
I mean, yeah, the engage was good, but if this was
I
an
feel like
item and
as
a
soon
half,
as Milio gets Loki back out.
yeah, definitely, I agree. But like at the same
Yeah.
time, if this was a 1 AP and a half item Katarina, that fight's completely
Yeah.
different.
So yeah, the compared to her other mythics, it's the same win rate as Divine Sunderer, with like 4% less games, and then Riftmaker's 2% higher win rate, and Rocket Belt is 4% higher win rate.
Okay, so Rocket Belt is clearly the move.
Also, Rage Blade is the highest win rate, but it's still very low game sample size.
Oh well, of course, that makes sense.
But usually like low game sample size items are very skewed one way or the other, because it's either very good situationally or very bad. And Heartsteel's on that very bad thing, because like Tiamat is 52.5% win rate on Katarina, which is built in 0.5% of games, so it's very situationally good. Same with Rage Blade. It's 0.6% build rate, but 53.5% win rate, because it's very situationally good. And then obviously, like the flip side is certain items are built almost never, and then they have a very low win rate because there's a reason why they're never built.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And Poppy has a Sunder, which is, oh, never mind. Gale is gonna definitely 1v1.
Oh, the Massive right there did a really good amount of damage onto him too.
Wait, what's the rift? Is it a Hex Tech again?
Oh, is it?
It actually is. No freaking shot,
It
bro.
never fails to work. I predict the same Drake in every game, and it works.
No shot.
I told you this, guy. I told you this in week 2. It's the same Dragon Soul every game.
Apex looking to dive on in. They
Arrow,
managed to
kill.
Tentacles arrow on a massive forcing him to pop his ultimate. Carbine follows up with that. K-Peps is now bouncing around to try to stall for time. Emperor flashes forward to try to push K-Peps back, but he's going to jump back into his team. This is now a 5-man for Crimson Spartans there for that
Right down
bot
mid.
lane tier 1. 17 over the top of the wall looking for a hook. He's not going to be able to get one, and they just get the tier 1 while 2 people siege down that mid lane.
Yeah, it's not worth it at the end of the day. They lose their tier 2, which means mid lane is completely open. They have pressure also to turn. Looks like they're walking up to the Baron area. Not think they can do it, per se. I also just noticed there's a Quick Blade Senna, which is a build I've not seen, because I'm also a Legion and go lethality every single game.
It's
It's
the
it's
best, but
alright.
It's alright, yeah.
Alright.
No,
You get your Q up a lot faster.
It's like
Got it.
it's kind of weird, honestly, but I think it's fine.
It's not terrible, but it's still good. Because
I do think
reminds me.
lethality and Rage Blade are just better.
Okay,
But
that's
I'm
fair.
actually curious. I almost never see quick blades on this channel.
I'm actually also gonna comment on, because you know my Feast or Famine Ari obsession right now. So she went the Leandries, which I'm not like upset about. I think that's good.
Quick blades.
It's very good, especially into the fact that Katarina and Cho'Gath are gonna be beefy balls. But like,
What is with people building items in this game? Like quick blades is the same thing as Heartsteel. It's just like never built on this champion for a reason.
like it's not but in this case it's not that it's bad and it's not that it's good, it's just not the best. Because her
Eclipse
kit
would be
already
better,
does
Youmuu's would be better.
where's the support item?
Ginsu's would be better. They sold it because they want to
Wow.
start. They want to start farming now. Yeah. fine.
Okay. I've never seen that before. I've seen
Yeah,
like a hardcore skip one or the other, but I've never
I
seen.
think a lot of fasting Sennas do that.
as
Interesting.
soon as you
At least
get
at least
the-
they should. If your AD carries the one playing Senna, they should do this.
Yeah, so it's
Because
like, as soon as
ADCs
you
are
get the item
as an AD
completed, you
carry,
sell it.
we are bad at vision control, but we're good at farming. So just like let me sell the support item and you do it,
That's interesting.
and then I'll start
Okay.
CSing. So like, it's fine. But yeah, quick blinks on Senna is also not real.
we're just
We're having a bit of a interesting game here.
I've done the quick blade Senna. It wasn't terrible, but it definitely
It's
wasn't.
It's like the 5th best mythic in this game, I'd say, for her.
I mean, I'd rather go IE over Quick Look.
I think you'd go Ginsu's, Yomu's, Eclipse,
But
Trinity Force,
if I'm not picking those 3,
Locket.
We're just cooking all around, aren't we?
I think if Katarina and Senna swapped items, it'd be honestly be better. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Unironically, I do.
I actually like funny enough, I actually agree with you on that one. But I mean,
Yeah.
we're just going into hypotheticals at this point because we're just flabbergasted at what we're seeing, which just something you don't really see. Dorado, I kind of get it because like
they do manage to get the stun onto 17 right there,
Nice.
knocking back K-Peps, but they don't get the pick, unfortunately.
We are gonna have a Drake fight
now. Looks
they
like
have
Princess
Cryo.
Spartan's got the control over the river.
Don't kill us,
But Dorado Gaming doing a really good job of fighting that control back. The idea for a hook back into Blitzcrank. They eliminate the jungler. TP coming out from Benny. He finds the backside of the flank, but a nice arrow and a nice flank to clean it up. Poor JJ takes out Palmer with that massive ultimate. Down goes Benny. Flash forward down. Goes Showtime. It is Senja now. 1v4. And I'm sorry, your champ does no damage. Ace for Dorado.
I don't know if you saw that, but that Q I think healed Senna there.
Okay. I know we try so hard to keep it together and not blame our like.
I can't. Seeing this, like this is a level beyond me being able to keep it together.
It's
like,
just
this is actively like losing the game for your team, which I can't stand it.
I just don't understand. Like they're not gonna walk in here and get this Baron. You're just gonna die for free. So Baron does go over to Dorado, and they just turn for Drake at this point. So it's just a free Drake if they just want to go ahead and go for it right now. Blue buff will be secured by Tails. She's level 15, by the way. So there's that.
Even if she wasn't a champion, she got 2 IRC champions regardless of the level.
Yeah, regardless.
Yeah.
After level 11, we're going to use the champion. Just right now, we're having 2 items. Probably a lot of gold in her pocket as well, because she has a max in a little bit. That will be coming up on her 3rd item. Just rush Death Cap, I think, since you have a pretty good lead at the moment. And we will get some zoning going on a Drake. This will be a free Hex deck. There's no contest ever, so Yeedly beat goodbye. Bot tower, yeah.
They really
I
need to.
Agree. Yeah. Open up the bot side of the map, so those are the next Drake in 2 minutes.
It's the last easy objective on the map. You should go for it. Kale is more than happy
16.
to sit in top side.
Ari could ignore this if he really wanted to.
Yeah, but this is doing right there, just kind of focusing the champion rather than the minions. But here comes VIP Emperor and Matt onto massive Enchantress. Her arrow was fired at the right spot, but unfortunately VIP Emperor hits her into the wall. Matt gets a really nice speed up. Jason Kepler getting very low. Ultimate coming out from Senja doesn't do a lot of damage, and they're both just sitting at a sliver of a health. Meanwhile, mid inhibitor is being taken, and they just can't do anything about it. Flash forward from VIP. Massive shreds his health bar with ease. And Benny is next.
I can't even say go next because there is no next.
If that's normal Katarina, he wins the 1v1. Because he played it well, he just doesn't do damage.
Like, and like the Heartsteel procs sure are doing work, but it's like not what you'd expect out of the Katarina. And out of like a Mundo or something, or a Cho'Gath or a Shen, you'd be like, oh dang, that's a big beat. But just the way Katarina's designed is not to be a tank champion. She's an assassin. So it's just kind of a really big head scratcher for me, especially going for this build.
Yeah, like you said, I normally do my utmost to like not flame people. But like this is a level like beyond being able to do that because you're actively losing the game for your team by doing this. And I have no tolerance for that kind of thing.
I mean, I'm actually gonna like
do to try to save the game.
They
This arrow onto Jason. He's gonna pop a stopwatch. Down. Boy, JJ finds another kill. Senja pops the ultimate, but it's not doing a lot. They do get a kill onto the Ari, but they fall in the end. Showtime doing a really nice job of hiding, but they have just so much CC. The game is gonna end right there. 29-6. Dorado Gaming securing that first seed spot.
It's very frustrating.
If I knew they were gonna build like that, I would have predicted a 2-0.
It's very frustrating to watch. I mean, like, yeah, I hate being like this, but it's just I cannot stand this kind of thing in a competitive setting.
I will give you credit actually because I've been watching the LCS forever. Azael will do the same thing when he finds something unacceptable. He will actually go full flame mode too.
Dude,
Yeah,
So,
I've seen
it's
his full
completely
flame mode.
unacceptable to do this in a competitive game. I don't care how good you think it is. You're actively losing your team the game by doing this.
So just to kind of bring it back, Dorado does end up winning that game 2-0.
Yes.
Unsurprisingly, I mean, I three of us, had the predicted to win anyways, so that kind of makes sense. And I did have faith before we got into game based off the draft. But when we saw runes, when we saw what was being built, it was like, okay, what is going on? And the trend kind of just became a tumble of dominoes in favor of Dorado as the game kind of went on more and more. And clearly it showed that a hundo, I'm not even going to say a hundo, I'm going to say a hundy, which is what we say at work, which is worse than 100%. But it's just, yeah. Other than that, I mean, let's just see what happens.
I mean, Melu back into the chat. You were successful. You're 2-0
I was
over
successful.
Dorado.
Yes.
My, comes through.
Well, it's not even my prediction. I really can't even take credit for this one, though I do appreciate the attempt. Riley's currently in the kitchen making dinner, so I'm going to tell him this now. Hello. The team that you predicted won on the score you predicted. Yes, they did. He said words I can't repeat on stream. But to put that shortly, very excited about that. Very, very good choice on his end. Maybe I need to start using him for predictions a little bit more. Get that perfect scoreline down. That might be the move.
Yeah, you just ask anyone who has no idea what they're talking about, and they're usually right.
True.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Because
funny.
day one, when Clarissa and I started doing LCS predictions, she 5-0'd me. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Dang. That's kind of impressive, actually.
Yeah. So right now we're gonna go ahead and set up the interview. I'm gonna try to get the top laner in here. So
I will go get the top laner. I will be right back.
Okay. And we'll kind of just talk over like what happened in that last game.
Yeah.
Really, the only thing that we can talk about is it was kind of I won't say macro diff. It was more of a micro because I think item building is more of a micro decision making.
Yeah,
than macro.
I think it was both. In game one, it was much more like it was definitely both for sure. I think in game two, it was a lot of just micro gap, and then they lost a bunch of team fights, so they're inevitably going to lose the map off of that.
Yeah.
But in game one, it was definitely like both a hands and a map diff. Yeah.
So, speaking of top diff, game one, Camille Massive is here for our interview. Completing off the regular seasons, if you look at the Risen stat page, Massive, you are hands down the best top laner in Unstoppable. First in quite a few categories, KDA, CS, XP, Deeps, not death percentage because you just don't die. Proof in the pudding would be that Camille game where you died, but it really didn't matter for the other team. So, how did you feel that Camille game specifically? Because that was kind of disgusting.
It kind of just felt like the other guy was picking Orin just to pick Orin. Like, thinks it's just a safe pick that he can blind, but doesn't really play the champ too much.
Huh.
And
sounds like someone earlier also said, "Don't play pick Orin."
Yeah, it's not blind pickable against.
It's
not blind pickable against someone who plays Aatrox, Camille Fiora. It just isn't.
Honestly, like if he really needs a blind pick, it's not the worst in the world. He just can't play to fight me like he did.
Yeah.
Like that's not what Orin is there for, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not trying to win lane on Orin.
Nah.
It's like Malphite. You go down 20 CS and it's fine.
Exactly.
Pretty much. And then that actually leads me to game two. Like we were memeing kind of like in between the loading screen. We were like, well, it was clearly just a U.GG counter pick, but whose idea was it to pick the kill?
Oh, me. I just like the champ. I just wanted to play it.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Take that.
It is a good matchup into Cho'Gath. It was just a bit weird in contextually in the draft, but for lane it's good. And if your whole team gets fed, the comp kind of goes out the window. So
yeah. I mean, neither jungler paid attention to me, so it made it really easy to play.
Which is exactly what you want. No
exactly.
attention.
Yeah.
Never come to my lane. Never look. Don't even look top side. Just focus bot side. If you're even up here for the Herald, I'll be upset.
Right.
Yeah.
So we speaking of game 2, we were talking about like picking the Olaf because, like Dart said, contextually it goes better into the
Yeah.
draft. You guys think about locking in the Olaf there?
Olaf top?
Yeah.
Olaf top.
I don't play Olaf at all.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't
Okay,
sure if you played it or
that's fair.
not. Yeah, I think
There
like
was
Olaf
something.
Darius maybe, but I'm not 100. I don't know your champ pool inside and out, so I'm not 100% sure what you're comfortable on.
Wait, so
Camille,
just remind me which game are we
I
talking?
could
Game two.
probably
Game 2.
whip out
Oh, okay.
Darius.
Yeah.
Instead of
So
Kale, yeah.
I always considered Darius, but since they had like Ashe,
Yeah,
that
it's
kind of
hard,
just
yeah.
killed the pick for me.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Right?
I don't think it would have been bad though. It would have been okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what
And-
we were too.
I
Yeah,
think so.
that pick was really rough, honestly. I was like, what do you even play here? I thought like maybe Quinn or Olaf, but I don't know if you play either one of those.
I was thinking
So-
Alawi.
Alawi's kind of rough.
It was
I don't play
really
any of
rough,
those
but it like
champs.
gives you that split
Yeah.
push team fight
It's
ability.
that pick is super hard. So I think Kale is like, given your champ pool and what you're saying, it's probably honestly your best option there.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and I want to kind of highlight, that you guys did go undefeated throughout
Mhm.
this split, so you are first seed in Group A for playoffs.
You guys went undefeated 7-0, but you did not go undefeated, dropping one game.
Okay,
One
but I'm not
game!
talking about
Oh,
that. I'm talking
Sadly,
about
yes.
series
Come
wins.
on, guys. Come on. Is it really Dorado if they don't drop a random game? Come
It
on.
was against Primal Instinct out of all the teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Oh
played
yeah, I
good.
did. I commented
It's a,
on that.
it's a Dorado classic.
I was like,
One
wow,
game for
out of
content.
all the teams, it was Primal. I was like, interesting.
You just randomly drop a game in the regular season.
One game for content, as we always say. But now, so looking forward into playoffs, obviously, I know that the message of it, that the overall goal is to win the whole thing. Naturally, it's any team that joins this. But in terms of like, do you guys like think do you feel the need to like improve anywhere as you go through playoffs, or do you feel like you got it on lock and you're ready just to kind of waffle stomp everybody?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at the end of the day, like we're in a plat league, so we all have things to improve on,
Yeah.
But I think everybody on the team is really solid, like we don't have super big glaring weaknesses. So
Mhm.
I think we really could win it all. Looking
And
forward to
then
that.
what do you
Mhm.
want to say to the teams that you're going to meet in playoffs? Is there any banter you wish to say?
Good luck, bro. Good luck.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, boys, you got anything?
Nope.
No, congrats on the win. Congrats on the matchup. Definitely proved and showed us here in the caster desk that you are one of the best top laners in the league at the moment, and can't wait till we are looking forward to the semifinals, to the quarterfinals, to the finals, whatever game we get to cast with Dorado game. We are looking
Yeah.
forward to watching it.
Can't wait to see you tank 5 top lane bans every game.
There you go.
Yeah, right?
All right,
it's
man,
okay.
go enjoy the rest of your night.
All right. Thanks, guys. See ya.
See ya. All right, so that brings us into talking about playoffs from here. So that does start next week for anyone who is interested in watching. You should definitely watch us because it's best of fives. This meaning we're in for more unhinged nonsense for depending on if it goes to 3 or 5 games. But obviously we're not going to get the full picture until arguably like Tuesday. I think is when we'll get the full picture of what we're going to expect out of playoffs.
We do know that Dorado Gaming has locked in their position, and
Yes.
I do believe Keg Pagaru has secured their position as well. Depending on how their game goes against Mind Goblins tonight, if Keg Pagaru beats Mind Goblins, they claim first seed. If they lose, then those two are going to be tied for first position.
The only thing I don't want is I don't want to see KEKW, Pagarid, or Dorado play each other until like finals. If that ends up being the case, I don't want to see them in
depends on
semis.
seeding.
I
If
don't
they're
want it
both
in
first seeding,
quarters.
they should be.
Do not give that to me.
Yeah, if they're both first seed, which depending on how their series go, KEKW and
Depends on
Pagarid
if they
should
win
be
today. If
first
they
seed.
win today against Mind Goblins,
Then they're locked first. Yeah.
Yeah, and undefeated as well.
Yeah, if they lose, they'll be second seed, which means they'll be on the same side of the bracket, meeting in semis. If they win today, KNP4, if they win, then they'll be obviously opposite side of the bracket because they're first seed, so they would meet in finals if they both made it there.
Need that.
We'll see how those games go and how the tiebreakers break out to see where Crimson Spartans fall in the rest of this bracket after going down to 4-3.
Looking at the bracket for Group B, it's looking like it's going to be Keg Pagarood, Mind Goblins, and Dragoons. Dragoons winning tonight over Ethereal, so it is going to be more than likely a tiebreaker event
Did
for.
Ethereal beat
Bilbo's Book
I
Club.
do not
Let me
know.
have a gander.
Wow, I really wish I could look this up, but still gapped
They
over here.
did. They beat them in week 1, so they will be 4th seed. So Bilbo's Book
All
Club
right,
will be 5th because they lost
so-
head to head.
Group
Oh,
B
gotcha.
looking like Keg Pagaru, Mind Goblins, Dragoons, and Ethereal.
Yep.
Just depends on seeding at this point.
Group
with Mind
A is a
Goblins and Keg.
toss-up between Crimson Spartans, University of Hawaii JV, and No Quarter Gaming for the last 4 seeds. Crimson Spartans are locked playoffs. It just depends on where they fall after losing to 4 and 3. So if University of Hawaii win, then they will go to 4 and 3 as well, and then we'll see. I believe Crimson Spartans beat them, so they will be second if that's the case. And QG did win today off a forfeit win, so they will be 4 and 3 as well. They did lose to University of Hawaii head to head. I'll see if they beat Crimson Spartans. I don't think they did.
I don't think so.
Yeah, Crimson Spartans
We-
won, so I'm pretty sure Crimson Spartans are locked second place.
Okay.
Luckily for us,
given
that is a
head-to-head.
Tyrell problem and not an us problem.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Looking at how the schedule has gone and who's beaten who, Crimson Spartans should be a guaranteed 2nd seed. No Quarter Gaming should be 4th because they lost to both University of Hawaii and Crimson Spartans, and
Okay.
University of Hawaii beat No Quarter Gaming and lost to Crimson Spartans. So it should be 1st seed Dorado Gaming, 2nd seed Crimson Spartans, and then UH, and then NQG in that order for top 4.
Cool. So we got a pretty cool playoff picture set up for us coming over the next few weeks now. And just think, we already made it to the end of the split, or not the end of the split, but the end of the regular season. We're already going into playoffs starting next week, which will be an interesting one for me in particular because I'm on call starting next week. So this is going to be fun. I'll just do the same thing I did the last time, where I just did server updates in the middle of like loading screen, just like last time. So we'll see what happens. But other than that, overall, I'm pretty excited for this playoffs we're getting through, and then we also are gonna have Worlds alongside it, so we can kind of do a little bit of parallels as we're going on. Not too many parallels because they're still on 13, 18. I think they're still on
19,
over there.
right? I thought it was 19.
I think you're right. I think it's 13, 18.
I think the way they do Worlds is 2 patches behind.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is 13, 19. But
Because 19 was Worlds patch, yeah, and so they'll stay on 19 throughout Swiss, and then they'll go to 20 into the corners, I think.
And that's exciting stuff. So we got a lot of League of Legends coming our way, of course, over the next few weeks. Playoffs for us tomorrow. I think Dominant is still in regular season, I believe.
I will let you know.
I can check in about 3 seconds.
They
who's
are
gonna get it first?
quarterfinal. Oh wait, no, that is Rampage.
Yeah,
Dominate is.
Yeah. Nope, that's Divine.
I'm looking
That's
at
also
Dominate.
Divine.
Yeah,
There's
Dominate is still in the regular season.
Okay, I think Divine's getting ready to go to playoffs soon.
Yeah, I think this is their last week.
Yeah.
Champions League, I think they have one more week and then they're also in playoffs, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong.
RCL playoffs are about to go crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
Dominate's got one more week. Champs pulling their schedule up real fast. No, they start playoffs now.
Oh, okay. So tomorrow or Monday or whenever they do go, they start playoffs. Okay, cool.
Oh, they've been in playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh, they
Yeah,
have?
It's round 2.
Yeah,
It's round
last
2.
week they did their first
Yep.
round of playoffs. To Monday they do their second round.
Yep.
I need to stop being so busy and actually watch
They're
these
gonna be-
playoff games.
Yes, they're good.
All right,
right.
then.
Well, that about does it for me. If y'all got anything, otherwise I'm ready to close out for the night.
I'm good.
All right. Cool. So that'll do it for us tonight. Thank you, Marco, for being a producer tonight for us and accommodating the weirdness of my spectrum gapped in situation.
Better bandwidth. You're good.
It's not anything about bandwidth.
I'm memeing. I know.
It's just, man. It's just I even checked in the middle of the last game that they said 7:30, and then they took the time away and said it'll be back soon. I'm like, you mother. But anyways, that'll do it for us on Unstoppable. Next week it's playoffs for us. Tomorrow more Dominant comes along, and then we have more League of Legends along the way. Worlds is tonight. Cloud9 plays T1 tonight. Death Taxes and Cloud9 versus T1 as always. So we'll see you guys next week. But otherwise, if you're here for Dominant, we'll see you tomorrow. And take care. Have a good night. Drink water, and I'm gonna go get Taco Bell.
Yep.